Born on the Bayou. Good morning, CCR. Yeah, there you go. That's how we start today. I was just distracted because I was talking to Mars about my stupid headphones. Sorry. What's going on, Jimmy?
I always enjoy Creedence in the morning.
Do you really?
Yeah. And I can never say, you can never go like, why is anyone playing this? No matter where you hear Creedence, it just seems to fit.
Yeah, I was in the, every time a CCR song comes on, I listen to every single one of them.
Yeah.
But I never downloaded any of them or bought them or nothing like that.
I have the greatest. They probably have a whole catalog of shit I just never heard. I've heard one album, their greatest hits album.
Really?
I'm a CCR hack.
What's your favorite CCR song?
I don't know. I like Born on the Bayou. I'm just kidding. We just
I know.
Down in the Corner is really good. Proud Mary.
Right.
They have so many ones that I just love. Who'll Stop the Rain, because that was a Nick Nolte movie when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm. How about Green River?
Yeah, I like that. Fortunate Son.
Fortunate Son's a great song.
Yeah.
I almost played that one. Maybe we'll play it tomorrow. Or we'll play it today. We can do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah. It's a twofer. What is today? Wednesday. Huh?
I don't know. That's the beauty of us. We can do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah, it's a wild show.
It's crazy.
We can play Creedence at any time.
That's crazy.
No one can stop us.
Wow, I guess the robot arm is still here, huh?
Yeah, I don't know if they addressed it or not. I didn't hear the show last night.
They wanted me to call in, but I was out and about doing my thing. I didn't have time. What? You heard the show, Adrian?
Yeah, I was here. I run the board for it.
Are they mad?
Yeah, Rich is not happy.
Rich is not happy, huh?
Nope.
Oh, God. That's not good.
Thinks you were rude.
How am I rude? He probably didn't even buy the gift. It was probably his wife. What's up, Sam? There's a lot of clips.
Well, they spent a lot
I guess they didn't do a radio show yesterday.
To be fair, we also spent a lot of time on the robot arm.
We did not. We did maybe 20 minutes on it.
That's a long time.
Yeah, I guess that
arm.
is a long time.
That's an episode of MASH. That's an old man's example.
But they spent a lot. They only do an hour. What do they do? Like 45-minute radio show or something?
2 hours.
2 hours?
Yeah.
They did at least half their show on
Yes.
the robot arm.
The majority of the show.
Were they mad that I wouldn't call in? Everyone
Yes.
was texting me too.
Yes.
Everybody.
Yeah.
I got text messages from Sam, Roland, Rich Voss. People were texting my wife, trying to get through her to get to me. And I'm like, I'm just enjoying my night out, having a little sushi, knowing they're losing their minds and they wanted to have a confrontation.
Well, you had started the fire, so why be around anymore?
And then at one point, I'm like, look, if he wants to talk, he'll just have to call my show, our show, I should say. So, did you watch the State of the Union before we get into these clips?
I didn't, because I'm sure I knew it was going to be an act of sincerity by all involved.
It's just utter horseshit every single time.
Yeah.
And then he talks about all these wonderful dreams that America should have. All these wow moments. You know, that whole wow. What does he want to do? He wants to go into outer space and live there now or something? He wants to go to Mars and live?
Yeah, that one guy's going to live in space for a year, and then we're all going to go to Mars.
The chubby astronaut?
Yeah, he was a little out of shape.
I got in trouble for my chubby astronaut tweet. People got mad at me. I'm like, it's the first time I saw an astronaut that wasn't in shape. They pointed him out. And it's not Gabby Gifford's husband, by the way. I think that's the other one. I think they're twins, right?
She married to an astronaut?
She's married to an astronaut, and they showed an astronaut yesterday, and everyone assumed it's Gabby's husband, but it's not. It's Gabby's husband's brother, possibly a twin brother. Who takes an extra portion every Thanksgiving, obviously. How do you get mad at me that I point out that the astronaut's out of shape?
Progeria, man. Not a handsome guy.
But I guess he's just going to live in space for a year?
That's because if aliens found him, they think he was one of them. Weird-looking creep.
He kind of looks like the Jim Norton of astronauts.
Yes, he does. I did think that's the first thing I thought of. I didn't want to make it all about me. He looks like a more successful, more driven Jim Norton.
I don't know. You're in better shape than an astronaut. I can tell you that much.
We have similar necks. I have a similar neck to that man.
But you know how to eat right.
Is he going to be up there for a year by himself? Or?
I don't know. What is he, at the space station? And how is he getting there?
Don't they have people up there for year-round? I mean, there's pretty much Russians that have been up there since 1940.
Yeah,
what the fuck are you
I think we're already doing that.
Oh.
I think there are people up there right now, possibly listening to this amazing radio show.
It looks like Mills Lane. He's going to fucking referee fights in space. This guy's a creep.
Mills Lane.
You thought he was chubby too, right?
Immediately.
Right.
That is not like the 1950s strong-jawed,
No.
handsome NASA alien. Alien astronaut.
Show Jimmy him standing up when Obama mentioned him, and you tell me if he's not out of shape. Look at this. He's got he's got a bunch of chins.
Scott Kelly. I don't like the way they all stand at the same time for certain things. It's just it's almost embarrassing how Bonner will clap and then Biden will clap, and then when the Republican president's there, the Republicans will clap. It's just like, oh God, we talk about it every year, but it's embarrassing.
Half the room stands and applauds, the other half sits on their hands.
Yeah.
I think at one point Obama said, "We all like ice cream, right?" Just so everyone would have to applaud. It was ridiculous.
Oh, not lactose intolerance, though. I don't want those people to be left out. I would never clap for that. And vegans.
It's just utter horseshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the astronauts are twins. Okay, there you have it.
What successful fucking twins.
That's pretty cool.
They're both astronauts?
Both astronauts. I think every guy's dream... I know, the dream of a woman is to, be a housewife?
Yeah.
A housewife.
A good vacuum. To have a good vacuum.
A good vacuum, a housewife, or, they also have a silly dream where they want to be a princess. That's about it.
That's what it is.
That's about it for girls.
Yeah.
But for boys growing up, it's I want to be a baseball player or I want to be an astronaut.
It's true.
And this family had two of them?
Yeah. I wonder if they have a third brother who runs a soup franchise or has some other worthless fucking gig he does.
Like
out of this world soup.
I was going to say.
Yeah, exactly. He's trying to fucking glom in on their fame.
There's always a third brother. Yes, Travis. Just look at the Mannings. There's a third Manning.
Yeah, he's a business guy.
Well, oh boy.
He's not on the Oreo commercials?
No. They have to make believe they give a shit about his career when they all get together.
Yeah, the two Super Bowl champions. So what have you been up to? Sales are up.
Right. An amazing meeting in Iowa. Southwest Airlines. They're a great organization.
You know how many times they probably have to correct Archie May? Say, and my two sons, you have three. Three sons.
He doesn't get to sit with them at Thanksgiving.
Yeah, he's got to sit in the other room with the women.
Yeah. So that was a highlight, the chubby astronaut.
Yeah.
What else can we say about it? Half the room claps, like Jimmy says, and the other, sits on their fucking hands.
What about
the people?
Ruth Bader Ginsburg?
She pretty much slept through the whole thing. Yeah. I got in trouble for that tweet as well.
Did she really?
Yes.
She's an old lady.
She was dozing.
She's, I think, 81 years old. There was no doubt about it that she was either sleeping or dead. And then I made a reference to a vacation. I just said it was time to tie her on the roof of the station wagon. And people got mad at that, too, for some reason.
Is she still on the court, or is she done?
No, she's still there.
Supreme Court Justice.
How about this? When the president's talking, you're on the Supreme Court, stay awake.
Right.
How pissed was she? She's 81. She must have been so pissed that they scheduled it for 9 p.m.
Yeah. Oh, God.
That's way past her bedtime.
What the fuck is she doing? That's the Supreme Court of the United States. Sit up.
There she is.
The fuck? Oh, is she awake? She's awake.
She eats dinner at 3:45.
No, she woke up because everyone was clapping around her.
Now I'm
pictures
sorry.
everywhere.
I don't want that on the Supreme Court. That's the life and death decision maker.
Right.
She's nodding off. You think she was listening to this show? God, that's annoying. Wake up. I'd grab her thing and shake her roughly. Wake up.
So that happened. What else happened? Boehner was looking just like a fucking jerk off up there. Does he practice that look?
Oh, yeah.
He practices the I'm so bored, I don't want to be here look.
Yeah, because he's got to look in the mirror and practice the sort of I want everybody to know that I'm being shitty, but I can't actually be shitty.
Right.
Look, I'm shitty about this, but I don't want to look shitty because that'd be unprofessional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look.
And do you think Biden has self-awareness up there?
No way.
You don't think so?
No, he's sitting there checking his phone half the time.
Well, is that what he was doing?
I think so.
Was he
Otherwise,
checking tweets?
Unless he was just staring at his thigh for periods of time.
Why is he touching him and laughing? He's touching John
because
Lennon.
he is the man. Joe Biden is the man. If you don't understand that Joe Biden is the man, I don't know what to tell you. And it has nothing to do with him being a Democrat. He is just the man. He has so much fun all the time.
He's pretty sure State of the Union was his party.
Oh, absolutely.
And they're all here to see me.
Right.
Me and Joe Biden.
Yeah.
He wanted to take a selfie up there.
Yeah, he did.
If he could, he would have, right? He would have taken a selfie. Yes, of course he would have. Look at him. He's touching Boehner's arm because I guess Obama got a good one in, and he just has to make it hurt a little bit. So he touches his arm, and then he just kind of smiles, this shit-eating grin of his.
Oh, that video you tweeted of him, where he kissed the girl on the cheek.
That is creepy, isn't it?
I bet he had bad breath. I'll bet you that was what it was. He was talking to her, and he probably had bad, I've been talking breath. You know, dry, sour talking breath. And he was
Right.
probably whispering to the girl, and she was like, "Ew, pit you."
Yeah, anybody with that lack of self-awareness definitely has terrible breath.
Yeah. He laughs fucking talking breath in your face.
She's like 12 or 13. He's whispering in her ear, and then he tries to kind of kiss her, and she kind of backs off. And you got to see the mom in the video. She's like, all right, okay, enough. I know we all kind of know each other.
He's the vice president. You got to let him know. You got to let him.
Got him, let him touch your kid?
Yeah, if he's the vice president, out of respect. If
Yeah.
he wants to pat her on the fanny or whatever, that's his prerogative.
So I don't know.
Kiss on the cheek and neck.
Yeah.
It's up to him.
He is the vice president.
Out of respect.
It's America.
I'd hate to not get invited to those events. Go ahead, kiss her on the neck. I'll look the other way.
What is the other thing? Oh, and then we learned that Rebecca and Ben, you know how the president has to pick out people to make his points. I guess Rebecca and Ben, they're doing everything right, but they can't afford to have pizza on a Friday night. Who the fuck can't afford pizza on a Friday night?
I know. They're on meth. See Rebecca and Ben. She's got to suck 40 dicks just to get high. Good Obama impression.
It's not like pizza is this like expensive dinner. If they
I would
can afford dinner, they can afford pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have understood if you said they can't afford sushi on a Friday night. Pizza.
It's pizza. It's like $14.
When I was
They have dollar
broke,
slices.
Yeah, go to the dollar
Yeah.
place. Get
That's
dollar
two brothers.
slices.
That's all you can afford if you're broke.
thank you. When I was broke, that was my diet. It was a lot of pasta and a lot of pizza.
You can get a medium pan from Domino's for $8.99, dude.
Who the fuck can't afford pizza on a Friday night? That's what he said, right? Or was it a pizza party? Or
No, I
Ew,
think it was
pizza
pizza
party.
on a Friday.
Ew.
Adults should not be having pizza parties anyway.
Thank God she wasn't an old man. They can't afford lemons for their lemon party. Oh, wait. I shouldn't have said that.
I was laughing because Obama was just embarrassing poor Rebecca.
You're just laughing from your ivory tower, shoveling pizza
Well,
down your
Yes,
face.
They can't afford bread. Let them eat pizza. Peasants.
And I guess that's the highlights because all the other shit.
What's the clip? Do we have the clip of pizza?
Yeah, we'll find it.
Yeah, we don't have it yet.
We'll have it a little later. Sam will get a couple little clips. Oh, then the good slam by Obama.
Yeah,
and,
we get.
And I even saw a lot of tweets from the right going, all right, got to give him that one. That was a good slam. And I guess he went off script. I guess a lot of people in the know, they get the the speech or whatever ahead of time. So everyone couldn't wait to tweet, that was off script.
I know, because I had a script.
He improv that. I just want everyone to know I got the script ahead of time.
Yeah, what
It was a good one.
It was a very good one.
did he
He
say?
basically said, I don't have any more elections, to run or.
No, he said.
To ruin or run?
No, he said. Yeah, he was saying that he's not campaigning anymore.
He doesn't have to campaign anymore. He's run his last election or something. And someone kind of cheered and said good or something like that. Right?
Yeah.
And then, I don't want to ruin the line. It's going to suck if I do it.
No, yeah, I want to hear Obama's zinger.
Well, then he basically said, well, I won, both of them, so,
Oh,
What?
the punchline was ready. Obama, you stole it from Obama. He's
Huh?
right there. The clip's ready.
Oh, it's ready.
Yeah.
All right, play it.
No more campaigns to run. My only agenda, I know because I won both of them.
And the stupid, Boehner couldn't laugh at that.
Boehner, no.
It's a good joke.
Boehner's an asshole.
Half laugh, half don't.
Yeah, even the right knows Boehner's just an asshole. He's that guy you're supposed to hate, right?
He looks evil. He tans all the time.
Yeah.
I wish there were some tanning jokes on Twitter last night. I don't know why no one went there.
People did. They missed that one.
They really did miss the tanning jokes, the tanning tweets about.
Were there a lot of
Boehner.
them?
Here and there.
I would have had some good ones. I just didn't watch. Boy, this guy's tan. Where's he spend his time? Instead of doing the work, he's out there tanning.
The joke.
Yeah, that's a good one.
No.
Oh my God! What's he doing instead of cleaning up Washington? He's under a sun lamp.
It's terrible. You're taking a concept that everybody's already trotted upon and stripping it of originality.
My God! Look at him. It looks like Obama's back there watching Obama. He shouldn't even be allowed to eat in the same restaurants as me. It just degenerates into complete racism.
Sure,
it's not as good as I am.
Just devoid of humor. It's just racist.
Just mean.
And then Obama, I guess, is a fan of the transgenders.
Wow.
What did he say?
He mentioned transgenders.
What did he say? I like apples and oranges. Oh. Get it?
He's talking about the gays and the lesbians and the transgenders and
2015.
2015. Well, that's just a hot word right now. So,
I'll say it is.
Someone got to him and said, make sure you say transgender. The fucking kids will love it.
Trans is super in right now.
Super
Trans
in.
is super in.
Cool. Looks like things are finally going to happen for Jim Norton.
I mean, you talk about being ahead of the curve, Jim.
Yeah, but it won't matter. Everybody else will catch up, and they'll just credit other people. Oh, it's his fault.
Here's Obama saying transgender for the first time. This has never been said in the State of the Union
before.
There's one
last pillar of our leadership, and that's the example of our values. As Americans, we respect human dignity even when we're threatened, which is why I have prohibited torture and worked to make sure our use of new technology like drones is properly constrained. It's why we speak out against the deplorable anti-Semitism that has resurfaced in certain parts of the world. It's why we continue to reject offensive stereotypes of Muslims, the vast majority of whom share our commitment to peace.
Can you pause for a second? Do you have to? Why? Why, President Obama, do you have to say that?
Because there are a lot of nice Muslims.
We know that, but it's like you have to go out of your way all the time. It's just fucking
He didn't say
annoying.
extremists. He should have said extremists.
Yeah, I mean,
that would have made a lot of people happy if he said extremists, but...
We know that Muslims aren't all the ones, but we don't need you always reiterating that. It's irritating. Ugh, my God.
That's why we defend free speech and advocate for political prisoners and condemn the persecution of women or religious minorities or people who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender. We do these things not only because they are the right thing to do, but because ultimately they will make us safer.
Is his Boehner sitting? Is he not getting up?
Let's see.
Let's see.
They don't go back to that shot.
But it's all of them. It's not just Boehner. It's fucking...
Yeah, Boehner sat for that.
Yeah, why would he? Why, yeah.
Boehner doesn't believe in the transgenders.
Yeah, he doesn't want to...
Someone should blog about that. He did not stand for that one.
Biden's all about it, though.
Oh,
Yeah.
Biden is all about it. He's like, where's the after party?
Yeah. Mr. Vice President, you're not supposed to pop lock and mention transgenders.
He's just behind him going, oh, shit.
He is definitely the greatest vice president ever.
Joe Biden?
Yeah. Politically, I have no idea. I'm not going to lie to you.
I don't think he has any idea politically.
Just as a man in that position, he's the greatest one we've ever had. Do you understand that?
Yeah, he did kind of win me over when Obama was doing his healthcare deal, and he just leans in and goes, hey, man, it's a big fucking deal. Right? Just like the mic's on, you idiot.
You think Obama's sick of him?
Of course he is.
He is, you think?
I think
He's had it?
Yeah, because Obama, Obama doesn't like to hang out. He's not a fun guy. No. He likes to get things done. He likes to be taken seriously. He wants to be like a leader of a movement.
Yeah.
And Biden's just there to party and have a good time.
Look, if you Google image Biden, there's one picture that just popped up. He has 2 ice cream cones. And he don't give a fuck. Look, he's cheering the whole Dairy Queen, it looks like, with his ice cream cones.
Good boy.
And he's digging right in. He's not doing that fake, I gotta get the cameras on me photo op. He's like, fuck, I love ice cream. I'm gonna have at it.
Oh, who knew there were cameras here? You know how many times Obama has probably asked Biden to stop calling him Barry?
Right.
Don't call me Barry.
Give me just a general Joe Biden Google image. I want to see what just pops up. You got the ice cream, eating ice cream. What else? Just fist pumping and that point of his. He loves pointing at people. He was doing that last night.
You're my guy.
It's like it's Obama's speech, but in the background you see Biden just pointing to people in the audience. Look at there's him pointing again. He's the best, man. evil, smiling, smirking pictures. Oh, it's great.
Well, he's the perfect guy to be the vice president because he doesn't want to be the president.
And he doesn't. You don't really do anything.
And he's distracting enough where he'll say some shit that actually takes the heat off the president. There's times where you want a vice president who makes the occasional blunder or who says something stupid because it takes the heat off the president, the focus.
Yeah.
And he has a lot of personality. I never thought Obama had personality after that amazing speech in, where was it, Chicago?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
When everyone started going, what the fuck is this guy about?
2004, yeah.
And then there was sort of a drop-off in his personality, I always thought.
Absolutely.
And but then you got Biden fist-pumping everywhere.
And Biden's been through such a tremendous loss, too. People also empathize with him because of, the fuck his wife dying and, I don't know why that stopped the room. It's just an observation.
Just sadness.
Well, yeah, but
I thought Biden was here to party. I mean,
well, I think that's why people like him, though, that there's something very human about the guy who's lived through that.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
You guys gonna stop knocking the monitors, though. What are you doing? You're panicking over there.
Are you panicking over there?
Yeah,
Adrian's, there's nothing even on that monitor.
Adrian, did you watch the State of the Union?
A little bit of it before I went to sleep.
Yeah.
No.
And?
Yeah, they didn't.
What was your highlight?
It's just shit.
Yeah.
Every year.
Oh,
it's
that's
shit.
great. You're going to be a wonderful broadcaster someday.
Not enough Cuba talk, huh? They mentioned Cuba.
No.
They did mention Cuba.
I didn't hear the part where they mentioned Cuba.
Well, see, that's why. You gotta listen.
I didn't watch the whole thing.
You're judging the
I was
speech.
here.
You gotta.
I just like the space thing. This fat astronaut's going to be there for a year, and then we're going to, I guess, start living there permanently. Just like that, right?
Yeah, he's gonna check it out.
He's going to check it out for everybody.
Lay down the groundwork.
Right.
And then once he's up there for a year, he'll get everything all settled up, and then we're going to Mars.
I was watching, I was reading or something where they were talking about possibly, it was either Venus or Mercury, the upper atmosphere would be more hospitable, like it's too hot down below. So having like almost floating cities over one of those, yeah, it just seems too much though. One guy, breaks a bottle and it pops the whole goddamn thing and it falls. But I was watching something like that. We have to go to
Cloud
other
City in
places,
Star Wars?
Yeah, kind of, but it was a floating thing. It was a floating enclosed.
Dope.
Did you see the Republican? Yeah, let's go to Ron in Philly. I forgot. Thank you for reminding me, Ron. Go ahead.
Good morning, fellas. How are you?
Hello, Ron.
Very
Welcome
good.
aboard.
I thought I was watching an SNL skit with that, with the fucking shoe bags or whatever she was talking about. It was how to lose an election 101 by the Republicans.
She reminded me why I just absolutely hate politicians.
Who?
She can't be real. And they said she's an up-and-coming star in the Republican Party. She looked like a flight attendant.
She looked like a flight.
And she talked like a robot, like a Stepford wife, basically. And then she's talking about bread bags because they were poor.
Right.
Most of us did that trick. When we were growing up, we did that. In the winter, you don't really have boots, so you put bread bags or any other bag you could find between your socks and your shoes, and it keeps your feet fucking dry.
I never did
Who
that.
didn't do that?
Never.
Really?
Never. We put caviar cans on our feet in the Norton household.
But she was trying to relate to. All right. Yeah, can you find that? She was fucking creepy, man. And she wasn't talking like a human being. She wasn't talking at anyone. Very strange. What's her name? List or something like that, right? List. How do you say her name? Oh, Joni Ernst. Right. Look at this woman, Jimmy. Introduce.
Oh, that's an ad.
Yeah, well, you gotta play it.
Way to go, Adrian.
Yeah. They're bungling.
Blaming Adrian for the ads?
Yeah, I'm going to blame him for everything today.
You are.
That's going to be the bit. You got to have a bit every day, or these people go nuts.
I like that you have it out for Adrian a little bit.
No, I like Adrian.
Good evening. I'm Joni Ernst. As a mother, a soldier, and a newly elected senator from the great state of Iowa, I am proud to speak with you tonight.
Who the fuck voted
A
for
few
her?
moments ago, we heard the president lay out his vision for the year to come. Even if we may not always agree, it's important to hear different points of view in this great country. We appreciate the president sharing his.
She's got dry
Tonight,
mouth, by the
though,
way.
Rather than respond to a speech, I'd like
gonna
to
eat
talk
another sock.
about your priorities. I'd like to have a conversation about the new Republican
She's not
Congress
having
you just
a conversation.
elected.
She's talking
and
right
how
through
we plan
you.
to make
Yeah.
Washington
making eye
focus
contact or
on
anything.
your concerns
Dead
again.
smile.
Yeah.
Right.
We heard the
She's
message you
creepy.
sent in
Flight
November.
719 to Fort
loud and
Lauderdale is
clear.
now boarding.
And now
This is
we're
stiff.
getting to work to change the direction Washington has been taking our country.
She's concentrating
The
more on the
new
syllables
Republican
of each word than
Congress
actually what she's
also
saying.
understands how difficult these past 6 years have been. For many of
think
us,
she's sprinkling
the
sawdust
sting
on
of the
her tongue?
Yes,
economy
terrible.
and the frustration with Washington's
Oh, Washington.
weren't things we had to read about.
Jump on her.
Where's
friend.
Washington?
Washington.
I don't know where that is. She's making up locations.
Way to know America.
Didn't she
Yeah.
say ISIL too?
I think so.
She saw ISIS written down and
A lot of them say ISIL.
ISIL is like the,
ISIL's
Obama
another-
says ISIL.
Yes, that's
well, then I'm
proper.
the fucking asshole today. I don't think I ever heard of.
Yeah, Obama says ISIL.
Oh.
You know, she's
Wow, really?
yes.
Why
She's,
didn't I know this before today?
I have about 10 different reasons I could give. she's you know what? She seems like
She's
I like what
stiff.
she's saying though, but she's a little stiff.
She's
That's
very
all.
stiff and kind of creepy looking. Can you get to the
She got a
bread bags?
smart haircut too.
She's a smart hairdo, and you know she has a hair like fucking like Bill Butel. That's who she has hair like. You remember who?
Should be. Yes, I remember Bill.
Full head of hair. Fucking Jimmy Johnson hairdo. she
Live
has.
simply, not to waste. It was a lesson my mother taught me, family farm. I worked construction with my dad. To save for college, I worked the morning biscuit line at Hardee's. We were raised to live simply, not to waste.
And not
It
to
was a lesson
consort
my
with
mother
Jews.
taught me every rainy morning. You see, growing up, I had only one good pair of shoes. So on rainy school days, my mom would slip plastic bread bags over them to keep them dry. But I was never embarrassed because the school
who
bus
would
would
see
be
them?
filled with rows and rows of young Iowans with bread bags slipped over their feet.
Can you pause this worst
Thank you.
story
Our
in
parents
history?
may not have had-
I would love to hear what they did to prevent from getting pregnant. We didn't have money for condoms. Little sandwich baggies over their cocks. Oh, she
God, what is she trying to do? Relate to?
She went to poor school.
Yeah.
We did that exact thing.
Everyone
so-
had bread bags on their feet.
but I still can't relate to her.
Bunch of birds
No.
nipping at their little toes. Fucking awful.
By the way, it would make your feet sweat horribly. It was like a greenhouse effect on your
Oh,
feet.
really? Like the condensation?
Oh, it was brutal. By the end of the day, your feet were just so uncomfortable.
We didn't have enough money for bread bags in my house.
Really?
No, we didn't. We'd have to take the bread we ate, and my mother would have to shit it out onto our feet. And we'd have to use her shit to warm our feet.
Why didn't you just save the bag?
That's a good point. I don't know.
You didn't think at all ahead.
No, she made hats out of it. That's why we had hats made out of the bread bags.
That escalated quickly.
Well, I'm just,
We're just trying to have a little fun with the bread bags,
They always,
Jimmy.
'cause they always got to one up each other. You know, the politicians always got to
Yeah.
make themselves look like they had it harder.
So you had carbohydrate shit on your. On
That's
your
right.
shoes?
Good carb shit on my socks, in my shoes.
You put it in the shoe.
Bunch of New Jerseyans with shit on our toes in the bus.
And did the kids make fun of you, or did they all have?
They
shit
all
on their
had duty
feet?
in their feet.
Yeah.
To keep warm. Fucking awful story that was.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Can we get to the end of the story, though? I think she finishes
It
strong.
ends in a murder-suicide.
She finishes strong with this story. It's amazing.
Much, but they worked hard for what they did have. These days, though, many families feel like they're working harder and harder with less and less to show for it.
Yep.
Not just in Red Oak, but across
she
the
wearing a wig?
country. We see our
hair's
neighbors
fucked up.
agonize over stagnant wages and
that's it.
lost jobs. We
Hey,
see
Jane,
the
that's it.
hurt caused by canceled health care plans and higher monthly insurance bills.
How long was this
Adrian.
fucking
We
speech?
see too many
Adrian,
he's
moms
panicking.
and
What are you
dads
doing?
put their own
Adrian, Jesus.
pause.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. I was hitting the pause button. It wasn't working.
Yeah, no, it wasn't working.
They're
That was a
making like
long
that in
speech.
Cuba, huh?
She kept going and going and going and going. So, I don't know. She's a rising star, I guess.
How?
She seems like a nice lady.
Yeah, but
Would you vote for that lady?
I might. I mean,
What?
you can't judge them if they're a little nervous speaking at first. This is a big night for her.
Why can't you? But Clinton, when he was a nobody, like talked to the people. You
Yeah, we
felt
saw
like he
him-
was actually talking to you. This woman was talking right through you.
But he was governor by the time we knew who he was. Clinton was already savvy. We didn't see him in the beginning.
I'll bet Clinton would never do that lame bread bag story.
Hell no.
Yeah, he might. He might
think so?
sincere. We had bread bags on our feet. He'd pause, let the tears flow.
Sounds like him.
Not very good. I do a very good. Yeah, so you have bread bags. You have money bags. We have bread bags.
He would present it better.
Bread bags.
He would present it better, though.
Yeah, he probably would. He was a better speaker.
Opie's brown-nosing Obama.
Ooh.
Come on, man.
It's about time somebody called
Absolutely. Come on, let's get these
Dave.
calls going. Dave, good point.
Dave. How am I?
Boy, if you get your head so far
Yep.
up Obama's ass over here, kissing his butt.
Yep.
How am I?
Oh, my
Yep.
God.
Yeah, what's this,
All right.
MSNBC?
I hear you.
Explain how I'm brown-nosing Obama. I
Go
really
ahead,
need
Dave.
to know.
That's all you. I mean, you're putting down this lady who's giving a good.
But you didn't hear when I said that the whole State of the Union thing was a bunch of horse shit?
No, you're kissing
Maybe
his
to a
butt
lib.
so far. Just
Yep.
where we need Anthony.
Yep, libtards.
This lib
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I'm not brown-nosing Obama. I don't like any of these people. I don't believe in
Obama.
any of them.
Wow.
And then he hangs up. I'll discuss this with you.
You like Joe Biden because of his liberal stances.
I love
Absolutely,
pointing
Obama.
out the absurdity of the whole thing. Like, Biden is the man. How could you not say Boehner's just an asshole as a human being? I don't give a fuck about him politically. He's a dirtbag.
Okay, Rachel Maddow.
Yeah, all right. Whatever you say, Chris Matthews.
He doesn't even want to fucking clap for transgenders.
No,
Yeah.
he doesn't.
That deserved the wave.
He just stood up in his chair. And
They
put
all
arms
just stood up and done the wave.
transgenders.
Everyone cheering on the fully functional. Hey.
fully functional. What a great name.
I don't know, it's just something in advertising, you see.
You think a lot of
You've seen that before?
No, but it's been rumored to have been in ads. I've heard. I've
you
never
think a lot of them just kind of looked down when Obama said transgender? They're like, oh, geez, hope he's not talking about me.
Absolutely.
Does he know something? Oh my God!
It's a lot of looking around the room and making sure it's okay to clap.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not hoot and holler and scream, yes, finally.
You're right. One person clapping a little too much.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just like, Obama's done. This guy's still clapping. Fuck yeah!
I think you just got to point out the silliness of the whole thing. I mean, when you got, we're supposed to be working together, supposedly, down there in Washington, and then you see half the room standing, half the room sitting, half the room clapping, half the room fucking bored. That's just not the way it should be done in the end. Got to work together.
And they
But
all-
that's just even dumb to say because it's never going to happen.
And when Bush was president, it was the same thing.
Of
The
course.
Democrats sat there with the shitty look on his face. It's
And then you got the president saying just wild, crazy shit that's never going to happen in our lifetime. And if it was going to happen in our lifetime, how the fuck would we pay for it? He wants us to live in space. That's wonderful, but it's not happening during our lifetime.
We're going to Mars, dude.
yeah. We got to start the process.
That one guy's going to live in space.
Yep.
You think he's going to get on the scale every morning and because he's going to just weigh a lot less? He's going to be happy about that,
It's going to be fun for him.
right?
How quick would you get bored living for a year in space?
It might take a little while.
I think
Space is pretty cool.
I think after you rotate around the planet I would give it about 100 times, and you're like, holy fuck, the Wall of China again? Who gives a fuck? Right?
You really can see it from space.
By the way, in
Yep.
our hotel in Boston, they had space food in the mini bar.
What, the freeze-dried stuff?
The freeze-dried ice cream.
Like that they used to sell at like the science museums and
Did
stuff?
they really?
Is it good?
It's not as good as ice cream, but it's fun.
What do you mean? What makes it fun?
It's like freeze-dried ice cream. It's like
I should have just tried. Why didn't I try it?
it's like delicious styrofoam. It tastes like delicious styrofoam.
Really?
Yeah, it tastes like strawberry styrofoam.
It was freeze-dried ice cream.
Neapolitan?
When am I going to have another chance to try freeze-dried ice cream? Why wouldn't I try it?
Anytime you go to a science museum,
Yeah, you can get.
I don't go to science museums. That's stupid.
take your kid. Maybe he'll figure out how to build a robot arm while he's there.
Oh, the robot arm, of course.
Did you see, bore we move on from State of the Union,
Yes.
did you see Ted Cruz?
No.
Where'd he go?
Ted Cruz.
It's a good one.
Good old Ted Cruz.
Yeah, he wanted to...
Now, if I don't compliment him, that means I'm brown-nosing Obama,
That's
I
right.
guess.
That's right,
Lib.
yeah.
Lib.
Fuck.
Sticking to that lib agenda. Of
That's
course you
right.
don't like Ted Cruz.
What was this all about? Mediaite. I love those guys.
Well, Ted Cruz wanted to do his own response to State of the Union.
Right.
And so he had a staffer video him on an iPhone. And he stopped halfway through his speech and restarted.
Right.
His staffer did not edit
really?
it before he put it on YouTube.
All right,
Dope. What a fucking dope.
What's a dumb mistake?
let's watch this.
There's an advertisement before.
Wow, and you can't even click out.
No.
It's getting tougher and tougher to click out of these ads.
It is.
I don't like Obama's shugs. I don't like his half. I don't like when the president half hugs people. It annoys me.
You want it a little more professional?
Yes, I want a dignified, proper handshake. Stop with the fucking half hugs.
Do you find it weird that everyone was getting autographs?
Did they? No, I get that.
They
When he was
usually do.
No, I know they do, but I find that strange that the president's giving out autographs.
In
Especially,
the State of the Union?
yeah, on the way out, he was signing everything like a rock star.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
almost
shit,
wanna-
that's fucking brown-nosing Obama. Sorry.
You almost want to be like, dude, you work here. Like, what are you getting autographs for?
But it just shows, and he has to work with those people, and they're more concerned about getting, either a picture or an autograph from the guy.
Right.
Here's Ted Cruz.
Tonight, America received a powerful demonstration that it's time to move on beyond President Obama. This State of the Union address ignored the many problems America is facing right now and ignored the many people who hurt, the many people who are suffering. The president tried to paint a rosy picture
Rosie.
of an economy that's booming. And yet today, we've got the lowest labor force participation since 1978. 92 million Americans aren't working today. The president tried to say his policies are lifting the middle class, and yet today, median incomes have stagnated for over a decade. Let me start over. Tonight, America saw a powerful demonstration that it
You think that guy's fired?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to
He's
see
doing
that
the
video.
same lip shit.
Yeah.
The same sincerity. But, it's not exactly news that they're all fake, insincere people. All of them.
We put all that shit on our Facebook page, right, so that people could see it?
Yeah, we will.
Because it's funny how he gets disgusted, like, let me do that again. And his staffer didn't edit it properly.
No, he's
What
just
is
like,
beautiful.
okay, straight to YouTube.
That's the type of thing that can ruin somebody's career. Because it takes like that Dukakis photo of him and that, we've talked about it before, those weird moments where you just look at someone and go like, ugh, the guy's a douche.
Right.
Because all of them are douches. Every one of them. I don't care what side they're on. The whole key is who hides that they're a douche the best.
Right.
Who hides that ugly fucking dishonest, just fake part of themselves. And when that shows through, or when there's a part of them that shows through, you're like, yuck.
But
It
you're not
ruins you.
surprised by it.
No.
Yeah.
This is 100% the vibe of Chip going, don't start filming yet. Don't start filming yet.
Yeah, I'm going to act like I just seen this, and I'm going to go, oh, look over there. And then you kind of pan to me.
Okay, go.
Go, oh, look over there. It's exactly, he's stealing Chip's gig. Fucking Chip Cruz. Walk, yeah, fast.
Let's say hi to
The rock and roll car.
let's say hi to Tony in Dallas. Tony.
Rock and roll.
Hey, man, you ain't got to go to that science place for that freeze-dried ice cream. You can do a Google search for Dippin' Dots, and you'll find out where to get it around your area.
I've had Dippin' Dots. That's
It's a
not
little different.
That's not freeze-dried ice cream. Dippin' Dots are nice and cold. This was warm as could be. This freeze-dried ice cream in the hotel.
Well, they do that Dippin' Dots with the liquid nitrogen, so you can carry it around in a cup all day at Six Flags.
I want to taste the room temperature, deep fried, holy shit, freeze-dried ice cream. That's what I want to try. Could someone get that for me today?
Bravo!
Slava's not here. He's taking another day of leisure. When is E-Rock back, all nice and rested?
He's back tomorrow. He's giving himself, he's a little extenderoonie on the long weekend.
Little
but he's back
Stenderoonie, and then
tomorrow.
he'll come sliding back into work for a nice 2-day work week.
Yeah, put in for Thursday, do a little something on Friday, and give himself a weekend.
He's not smart, is he?
Oh.
Why wouldn't you spread your days out to have a few short weeks? Why would you pick the week where you only have to do 4 days to take 2 more days?
Because E-Rock does not, the same reason why he wouldn't have several small meals throughout the day. He would just have as big of meals as he could possibly have in a given moment.
He basically gets steak on a shovel. Yeah, I understand.
He's a man of consumption. He enjoys a lot of whatever he enjoys. So when there's a potential of many vacation days all at once, he would like to take that option. Yeah.
He's not against treating himself.
No,
he likes a good treat.
Yeah, he likes a treat for a job well done.
Yeah.
I understand.
But why wouldn't you take those 2 days, right? We work 4 days this week. Then you take a day next week, you work another 4-day work week, and then you take another day after that, so you got 3 4-day work weeks in a row. How beautiful is that?
Or last week he could say, you know what? I worked very hard this week. It's time for old E-Rock to give himself a nice 5-dayer.
In the middle of winter, too, when you can't even do anything.
Well, he's not interested in leaving the house. He wants to just give himself a 5-dayer.
Yeah, just sit down there and fucking paint his He-Man models. What a crud. He's a crud.
He is.
Joe Biden is pretty much Scorch as vice president. That's pretty funny, Lou. Lou in Jersey.
Yeah.
Gotta know our pal Scorch for that one. Let's say hi to Jack in San Antonio. Jack.
Hey, I guess my question is, why can't you embrace your liberalism?
Ooh,
I mean, you're the only one who doesn't think you are. Why can't you embrace it? And embraces his conservatism. Why couldn't you embrace the liberalism? You're an Upper West Side liberal. Call yourself that. Own it.
No, because I want to keep my money. That's where I'm torn. I want to keep my money. And if I felt like the government took all my tax money, which I pay a fucking fortune, that's where me and Anthony were always on the same page, and did it properly, then I would understand, politics better. But they waste all our fucking tax money, and we got to pay more and more and more. And I don't feel like doing that.
I think you're socially liberal and fiscally conservative.
Yeah, I think that's why I kind of feel like I'm sort of in the middle there.
Sir, comment.
I take from both sides when it suits me properly.
Yeah.
Well, it is what it is, and we know what you are, and we love you.
You son of a... Thanks, Jack. By the way, Ant had some really funny tweets on the State of the Union, speaking of money.
Was he supportive of Obama's statements?
Not so much. Not so much. There was one I read. It fucking made me laugh out loud.
I didn't see Twitter last night, but
Where was it? He just kept referring... He kept saying, go get my checkbook. Because Obama has all these big dreams and plans, and he wants, free community college?
Free community college.
So then...
2 years of it.
I'm trying to find the actual tweet, and Ant was like, oh, here, he said fair. Get my checkbook. He kept saying, get my checkbook last night on Twitter, which was very, very funny. Anyway, was that it for the State of the Union? Did we cover it like a real fucking radio show, Sam Roberts?
Pretty much. There were some people upset that Obama was talking about vetoes again.
What's that about?
Well, that the Congress thinks they should be able to pass what they want, but Obama says, I got my veto pen.
So, it'll be another 2 years of nothing getting done.
Yeah.
Both sides being completely stubborn.
Right.
Vetoes.
But the Democrats are more stubborn than the Republicans. Whatever.
Fucking vetoes. How do you walk with them?
Vetoes.
Vetoes. I think all your toes are almost, they're kind of all V's.
What's it, a bunch of Italian guys or something?
Vetoes.
Get it?
Vetoes. Yeah. Vito Carlucci.
Corleone.
Let's see. I'm looking at our fucking notes.
Vito Carlucci was Scorch's wrestling name.
Corleone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You want to talk to a congressional staffer? Why
Only if he's a Democrat.
Absolutely. Put this dem on.
Way to go, Sam. You just can't even fathom that it could possibly be a female.
No.
She's a staffer, sure.
And it is a female, you
What?
son of a bitch. Kate in D.C., go ahead.
Hi, how are you guys?
Pretty good, Kate.
Pretty good.
I just want to stick up for this person who posted the video because I used to work on the Hill, and you work all hours and you're paid nothing, so I just feel bad for him. He's probably going to be, completely...
Well, you know what? That's a tremendous blunder, and he probably deserves to get fired for that. That's the kind of stuff you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
The reason why I want to stick up for him is because you're on call all the time, and you get paid, almost nothing. You have to drive them around.
Yeah, but you got to do it properly.
That's the gig.
Coming up in radio, I had to do all these shitty fucking tasks. And I was making absolutely no money, but I made sure I got it right, hoping that then I would have better opportunities. How do you fuck that up?
I agree, but I think part of it is that, like, a lot of the times, like, that you're in on the Hill will be with a person that you don't necessarily align with politically. So he might have just been like, I'm sick of hearing this dude. He might be a Democrat who just thinks that.
Well, then he stinks at his job. If the bottom line is, if you're going to allow that to affect the way you do your job, he stinks at his job.
How hard is it to push play on the video you just filmed and make sure it's right? Make sure it recorded. Most people will just do it to make sure it recorded properly.
Well, when you grow up in D.C., like you guys were saying earlier, like everyone here is basically lying. Everyone's pandering to lobbyists. Like sometimes you just kind of stop caring, and it's really hard to pay attention and care about politics when you grow up in this city where you see exactly how it goes down and how bad it is. Like, no one gives a shit. No one is real, and, you know, you're just, like, at the end of the day, you're like, I'm doing all this shit for this guy making no money. I don't even think what he says is correct. So you stop caring. So probably that's
okay. But then he's not good at his job, though. That's a blunder you can't make.
Yeah, I really...
You should probably just move into contracting or lobbying, which is what most people do after the Hill.
Oh, okay.
I really want to like a politician. I can't think of one that I actually go, oh, I like that guy.
I like Obama. I liked Bush. I really did. I didn't agree with him, but on some of what he said.
When he was running, like when he was... I know I wanted to like him, but I was like, oh, you're saying all this stuff. It's just not going to happen, and people are going to like you, and you're not going to do any of it. And I felt bad for him. I think he probably meant to make a positive change for our country, but like I heard him talking, and I was like, no.
Well, then he realized the system was flawed.
Definitely. And I can attest to that.
I think the system's flawed. Thank you, Kate.
I think it's very fair, and it works delightfully.
All right, well, thanks. I'll let you guys go. I love you guys.
Thank you, Kate.
All right. Oh.
Bye.
The Old Navy near my house sells freeze-dried ice cream. Why can't we find an Old Navy near us?
I think I found a spot that does sell it. It's a little far away. Not too far away, but a little far.
Where is it? Schenectady.
No, it's on 76th Street.
76th Street.
That's not far.
Do we got that black kid around?
Lewis? Yeah, he's around.
All right, send him out for some freeze-dried ice cream.
Will do.
All right. We like Lewis. I just forgot his name, so I had to refer to him that way.
As what?
You're not allowed to do that in school, by the way.
What? Call people Lewis?
Well, there was a black kid in my son's class, and I was referring to him, and they were saying, which kid? And I was trying to figure out another way to say it without saying black kid. That's not easy to do.
Why? The black kid. He is a black kid. It's okay.
I don't know if it's okay.
Just don't say it angrily. The black kid! Just say it normal.
You feel like you can't describe someone like that anymore. So I was trying to figure out other ways.
What if you don't say kid?
I'm like, he has really short, dark hair.
Yes. He's not as good as the other children. We know what you're saying.
People know what I'm talking about. You're not allowed to do that anymore.
No,
you can't just say, hey, the black kid, because then they get mad, like, how do you not know his name? He's in your son's class. But I don't know all the kids in my son's class.
I only know the nickname we have for him. You could have said maybe the African-American child, the young African-American boy.
Can you say that?
No, why not? You can say black kid.
I don't know. We might have to get a teacher on the line. I don't think you could do that anymore, Jim Norton.
That's you know who that is?
They look at you a little strangely.
All white. That's all white guilt. That's all white people. Black people don't care if you say black.
Yeah.
Yes, they say black. It's a good descriptive word.
All right, we're heading toward a break, but man, I'm so glad someone else saw this. Mike in Toronto, go ahead, brother.
Going to talk about a gay porn.
This is going to blow people away today.
Guess he would have seen it too.
Yes, and I'm happy he did too.
And we should have talked about this yesterday. Go ahead, Mike. Throw this out there for the people.
The SNL skit. The James Brown skit with
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyone else see that?
No.
He had a huge boner. Wait, who has said over the years that Kevin Hart is packing?
I have.
Okay.
I've never seen his dick. I've just heard.
All right. It wasn't even a boner. I think this is Kevin Hart's dick when it's soft. He was doing a James Brown skit, and you know how James Brown is always kind of moving? This fucking... he leaves me. This Toronto kid leaves me.
Bailey J tweeted a photo. She's like, I think I like Kevin Hart movies, and it was very funny. That's what I guess it was from.
This fucking thing had a mind of its own. It's hilarious. It was hanging to the left in the James Brown skit, and it was massive. And you got to think Kevin Hart absolutely knew what he was doing.
I didn't see the video. I only saw a photo.
Yeah. Well, that's a shitty version of the video there, Sam Roberts. But you do get a good shot at Kevin Hart's big fucking donger. Look at that.
Oh, yeah, you can really see. Yeah.
Kevin.
Yeah, go check it out. As James Brown on SNL, you can see his donger. He's not wearing underpants on purpose. He wants that thing to move around a little bit. Anyway,
good for Kevin.
Yeah,
that's what I would do. I always try to get sketches with like I'm wearing no underpants. That's the first thing he should do.
Yeah,
I don't want to wear underpants.
You don't like wearing underpants?
No, I do. But if I had a dick like that, I wouldn't.
No,
and I was on live television, I'd do every sketch without underpants.
Really?
Yeah. Spandexy pants. Trousers.
We got to call him and ask him about that. I'm surprised more people aren't talking about that because it was pretty damn obvious during SNL. Well, all right. Should we take our first break, Jim Norton?
Sure.
We got Nick Kroll coming in a little later.
Yeah, he's promoting the third and final season of his Comedy Central show. It's on Tuesdays at 10:30, so it's on, last night it was on.
Very good. Yeah, we'll talk to him about that. And
Voss will not be here.
Why?
Oh, he's not. He didn't take up my challenge. It was kind of hacky anyway. I understand, but
he declined the invitation.
Yeah, of course, because he knows he can't do that. That's why. You know that, right?
He's not happy with you.
Because we don't even have to do it on the radio. He could come over to my place for 3 hours, and I want to see him try to put this robot arm together.
Oh, I want to hear the clips of what he said.
Do you? All right,
yeah,
we got
absolutely.
some clips from Rich and Bonnie, who are on this channel every Tuesday night, just killing it. I'll still say that, even though Rich is mad at me right now. They kill it every week on the channel. There was something else I wanted to say there, but I forgot. Fuck. Whatever. I'll figure it out. Travis, yeah, let's do that. CCR, Fortunate Son, we'll be back. Yeah, we're back. We got some free stuff in studio. Nice. From our sponsors. Got some Sherry's Berries. Are those the chocolate-covered strawberries we'll be talking about in time for Valentine's Day?
Oh, yeah.
You're getting a free ad right now, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Is that our envelope? Some free strawberries? They are really good. I'm going to try to not have any today.
Zero?
Yeah, I'm going to try.
I've taken my delicious gift and generously donated it to the staff who I want to enjoy it.
Look at,
they are amazing. Let me smell.
Look at them. Just smell how good they are. Look how many different ones they got in there, too. They got white chocolate, they got dark chocolate, they got the drizzle, the nuts. And the strawberries are very fresh. Because when I buy strawberries at our supermarket, they're fake fresh. What do they do? Spray paint them fucking red?
Yeah, I think there's plastic on them. They're terrible.
I don't know what it is.
They're not a delicious, fresh berry.
Strawberries are a waste of time. You get them, and then within 2 hours, half of them start getting mold on them, and the other half don't taste like they look.
Well, they're weirdly discolored because I think because a lot of times they're frozen for a long time.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, they look like they're coming out of an abusive relationship. They just got like fucking black and blue marks on them, and it's like that's been frozen for a long time. That's strawberry.
And they spray them with a little water so it looks like they're juicier and stuff, and the red is a nice red, but then they suck. They're not juicy at all.
These ones are not a waste of time.
Way to bring it home.
That was my point. I'm saying, where do they get theirs? Because theirs are very good. And then we got some flowers from Pro Flowers, Sam.
Oh, yeah.
Proflowers.org. What are they? Pro Flowers?
I think they went full.com.
They went, good for them. They got the .com.
So that's cool.
And we got some nice roses from Pro Flowers.
I don't like the fact that these companies are finally sending me stuff now because Anthony's gone.
Yeah.
They should send it on to him.
Oh, you didn't get him before?
No, I didn't get him.
So fuck them.
No, never. Never. They never gave me any. I'll be like, hey, where's the flower for me, guys? Except Steven Singer. He was always a good boy.
These are nice gifts, but
very nice.
They don't really count when I bring them home because my wife knows I get them for fucking free.
Yeah.
I can't just say, here's your flowers, here's your strawberries for Valentine's Day. I can't do that for whatever reason.
Yeah, I got to find a girl. I'm going to say, I'd like you to be my sweetheart.
Ooh.
Do you want to be my sweetheart?
Are you going to have a sweetheart in time for Valentine's Day this
I'm
year?
hoping so. I'm going to take my sweetheart out for a dinner.
A questionable?
No, I wouldn't take her to dinner. I'd probably have her come over for dinner and serve me dinner. Oh, shit. Katoosh. The kid is doing the robot.
Mr. Roboto. All right.
Those are really good.
Yeah, they are good. Have another one, Sam.
I already had two.
Have three. You got a fucking your body like Fiona Apple. Have one more.
Thank you.
Jesus Christ, you waif. Come on, you emo girl. Have one. Your wife is home screaming at the radio for me to shut my mouth.
You want me to break out my strawberries too, or we have enough?
God, guys. How much goodness can the listeners handle? I want everyone eating strawberries in this studio. Travis, strawberry. Let's get them really talking.
Are you a strawberry guy? Chocolate-covered strawberry guy?
I like strawberries, but...
Boo! Boring!
Oh, should I take a different stance?
No, go ahead. What?
I just think those are too big for my little mouth.
They're too big for your little mouth.
Yeah.
So what, I have a heel on my shoe. I'll be happy to help you. I'd love to fucking boot kick one into his mouth.
They are delicious, though.
Yeah.
Hey, while we have Travis on mic.
Yes.
Well, Travis knows this shit. So it turns out the Patriots deflated some balls.
I guess.
I still love my Patriots, and they are going to win the Super Bowl this year.
Report says
and more
11
people
out
are
of 12.
More people are going to hate Brady and Belichick. Well, they're already hating them pretty bad down here in New York.
He's a cheater, Belichick.
You think Belichick's just a flat-out cheater?
Yeah.
Or do you think they all kind of try to find ways around the rules a little bit, and he's just not smart about it?
Yeah, he's a dummy.
He gets caught way more than, well, pretty much he's the only one getting caught.
Well, he probably never got caught before because Brady doesn't get intercepted all the time. That's probably why. If Romo tried that shit, they would have found out in September.
The Saints got in a shitload of trouble.
I like that line. Huh?
The Saints got in a shitload of trouble a couple of years ago for putting bounties on their players.
Yeah, but every NFL team has something sort of like that.
Yeah.
They just don't make it public or make sure they don't get caught. There's an incentive, I would imagine, for every team. So what happens now, Travis? 11 out of the 12 footballs were deflated by, 2 pounds or 2 PSIs or 2
pounds per square inch.
2 pounds of air.
Less than what it should be.
But I got the Dan Marino on the Fox News this morning when I was just hanging out getting ready for the show, and he said that the NFL approved the balls, though. Even though they were all deflated a little bit, the NFL did, in the end, approve the balls for the game.
Well, that's what the investigation hasn't, uncovered, as far as we know yet, is when did they get deflated? Did they get deflated in the 2 hours?
Yeah, did they have an equipment guy who was saying cahoots?
Because they're checked by the officials
Yep.
like 2 hours and 15 minutes before the game starts.
Yeah.
And then they go back to the ball handlers that are hired by the home team.
I say right out of the box, take a nice slippery ball like we would when we were
I remember
young.
you saying that yesterday.
And play that nice and cold with your wet hands. Throw a slippery ball. That's football. I want a 2-0 score at halftime.
So just one safety and
one safety and that's it. Or just 2 extra points with nothing before them. It's never happened before.
I don't know.
But really, as a quarterback, it's what I think Tom Brady probably the best. He probably put in there the best way he felt that he could throw that day, whatever the balls were, and they were officially approved. So,
well, if the report.
See, just in case you thought I was lying, there's the clip. Dan Marino saying the NFL approved the balls.
Look, Aaron Rodgers a couple weeks ago was talking about how he likes to overinflate the balls, and nobody gave a shit.
Why does he overinflate the balls?
Because that's the way that he likes it.
Right. I mean, Andrew Luck just sucked. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's not like Andrew Luck would have scored more touchdowns if Tom Brady had...
He had a horrible day. The Colts were not winning that game, no matter what. So, that's that.
I want to know why only 11 were...
Because I think the 12th one is for the kicker. They say the kicker uses a different one.
Oh, no kicker wants a deflated football.
Hell fucking no.
Why not?
The kicker wants that one, nice and hard.
He wants 6 yards.
Nice and hard up there in Boston.
I got a tweet that said ASAP Yams didn't die of a drug overdose. He died from severe sleep apnea.
Wow, really?
Take care of yourself, Jim.
Yeah,
I mean, stop trying and just give up already.
Just let it happen.
Was that what it was, though?
I don't know.
Could be a bunch of malarkey.
We'll have to look that up. So what happens now? Does the NFL could take some draft picks or something if they decide that
they might be able to punish him? They don't
let them play in the Super Bowl. It's actually just giving it to Seattle.
They just forfeit.
Yep.
You want to see a riot
with the Colts?
You want to see a riot? The NFL goes, you know what? Nope. Colts officially win that game. Holy fuck! Okay.
They might not get in any trouble.
Which one did you like the best?
You're encouraging Sam to have another one?
I am. I want to throw all these strawberries in fucking Sam's hair and watch him try to pick them out.
Can we just throw them up against the window?
No, these are delicious treats. This is a chocolate one.
I had 2 of the white chocolate swirls.
Attaboy, Sam!
Those are good.
Yeah. The white chocolate?
White chocolate. Yeah, you don't like white chocolate?
What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
I hate people that like white chocolate. Out of all the chocolates you could pick, you like white chocolate?
In the movie theater, though, what chocolate would you rather be sitting behind? To be very honest.
White chocolate is so fucking good.
No, it's not.
Oh, guys, I say we have a taste off.
Here comes the ketchup bit again.
Come on, Sam, have a bite.
I don't know many people that would pick white chocolate as their number one chocolate.
I don't know.
Well,
It's
I didn't say
fucking
it was,
good.
I didn't say it was number one, but it is one of the top.
What's your number one chocolate?
Fuck me.
I'd love to.
Gotta go dark chocolate, but not too bitter, right?
What are you like? Yeah,
No,
if you're
dark
like
chocolate
if
stinks.
You gotta
at this
go about
point-
70%.
Oh,
Can I tell
guys,
you
I don't
something?
know.
You
Yes.
sound like you're a man of a certain age. Like that's an old man snack.
Dark chocolate?
Yeah.
There's no kid likes dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate blows. It
What?
blows. I'd
Like,
rather
it's
eat
not fucking sweet.
I'd rather eat shoe leather than dark chocolate. I'd rather eat a fucking shirt collar.
Like, do you enjoy that with a nightcap?
Yeah, I enjoy
Hot
a little
toddy.
piece of dark chocolate, and it cuts down the cravings for sugar. So I take a little square.
You see what I mean? It cuts down the cravings. Like you're like
I'm trying
it's
to cut down the cravings.
It's a
the sugar
snack
cravings.
without giving up your discipline.
Yeah.
Little nuts in there, right? And they're fancying them up a little bit. They're putting some other shit in the dark chocolate now. Probably because they know it's not that great.
That's awful.
Hershey's white chocolate cookies and cream bars. Those are the shit.
Now you're talking about my age. You just described something my son would like.
Yeah, me and
Like
him.
right. Those are delicious.
Yeah, but that's what an 8-year-old eats.
I'll be honest, the cookie and cream bar rules all ages. That's
Ages
fucking
8 to
delicious.
80.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Blind, cripple, and crazy. I'll fuck them all in their assholes.
Chip off.
Fuck yeah.
Travis, the other football story. What's going on with this guy that caught the ball? He's going to jail and he needs money.
He turned down, right? $20,000.
So the Seahawks win the game, and then they throw the ball in the stands. The guy catches it. So they always want to know who caught the fucking ball. And it's a guy down on his luck, but he got a ticket for the game. He's doing something right.
Yeah.
And then they offered him $20,000 for the ball, and this guy desperately needs money, and he refuses to sell the ball.
Yeah, some collector offered him $20,000 and he said no. He'll only give it either back to the player or to his kids. So he's got no job, he's got kids, and he's going to jail.
This guy's an ass.
He's turning down $20,000.
Yes, he's an ass.
So he's trying to get a ticket to the Super Bowl.
He has no job.
good. Make it
He's
better.
going to jail, and he won't sell the ball.
Yeah, and he's going to jail the day after the Super Bowl.
What is he going to jail for, though? Being an asshole?
Football thievery.
For what?
Football thievery.
Oh. For deflating footballs?
Yeah, and stealing them.
Didn't he turn down like an offer? He wants a jersey. Like one of the football players from the Seahawks.
No,
Isn't
he
that?
was offered the game-used helmet signed by the whole team, a jersey, and then he said, "You know, it would make it really sweet if you could get me a ticket to the Super Bowl." And they're like, "All right, we'll see what we could do."
What an asshole!
How would you take the $20,000 for your kids? Since
Exactly. What a selfish motherfucker. I want to go to the game.
Right.
Unless he thinks he can't sell a Super Bowl ticket for more than $20,000.
No, he'll be on a will call list.
But what? I didn't hear you. Why is he going to jail?
Football thievery,
Rape and murder.
firearms.
Firearms. Oh, shit.
The Monday after the Super Bowl, he's reporting.
Really?
Yeah, the day after.
Yeah, but he'll be the only one in jail that went to the Super Bowl.
That's true. They don't think he was the coolest.
Oh, he'll have a story to tell, right?
He'll get the shit kicked out of him for being such a moron.
Hey guys, what'd you do last night?
Yeah, I had a $20,000 football and I traded it for game tickets.
Yeah, exactly. I could have watched on TV for free with you boys in the day room.
Yeah.
Could have come a day early and bonded.
All right. Good for him. And then there's two golf things that we got to do really fast. Tiger Woods has a missing tooth, and it wasn't knocked out by a videographer.
They're saying that's falsehood.
There's no fucking way. So that story's going to come out eventually, even though his girlfriend there, Lindsey Vonn, is defending him, saying that's absolutely what happened. But people are like, that didn't happen.
Well, maybe the videographer's denying it. Maybe that nobody wants to be held fucking liable. So they go, oh, no, that didn't happen.
It seems a bit suspicious, is
No,
what
it's
I'm saying.
The head of security who was like with him.
Well, maybe he didn't see it happen. Maybe he was looking one way.
What is the head of
Lindsey Vohn's
security
way.
saying?
That it didn't happen.
That
The
it
Tiger
didn't
got
happen.
there. Tiger asked for more security. They got him even more security, and then they walked him over.
So he already had a missing tooth at that point?
I guess.
He looks badass with the missing tooth. He's got to keep that look for a while.
Michael Strahan.
He looks, yeah. Looks like a rapper.
He looks like Tyrone Biggums. No, it's not.
We don't know.
I don't
who
think
he
it's a
is.
car
No,
crash.
you don't, but I think you do it. It's not for you guys.
It is for us.
You're being ageist.
It's Character
Jimmy
from
don't-
Chappelle's show from 10 years ago.
You're being
That's not
ageist. Me and Jimmy don't know that
I don't
one.
know who that is. I was a boy when Chappelle did his show. I was very young. I was too young to appreciate it.
Can I see a picture of this guy?
Tyrone Biggums?
Will I know him when I see him and go, oh, that guy?
Yeah.
I hate when that happens.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Okay, of course. I do know that guy.
Oh yeah, I love that character. I didn't know the name.
Yeah.
Tyrone Biggums. I used to love it. I've seen him on stage do that.
Really?
Yeah, he would talk about. Is that the guy who gets out of jail? Or no? The guy who gets out of jail and comes back to speak to the school children.
But he's talking about being on crack?
Yeah, and he's going and he's saying all this fun stuff about drugs. Like I'll get high and see Scooby Doo and yeah.
Yeah, he was into his crack.
And he made me laugh so hard because he said the guy would always say drugs and alcohol. And the way Dave said alcohol always made me fucking laugh.
Maybe we play some of that on the show today.
Tyrone Biggums?
I don't like that. Encourages drug use.
And then the other golf story. I think Jimmy might have nailed it. What's his name? Roger.
The Dodger. Montalvo.
What's his fucking name?
Roger Goodall.
The guy in Hawaii.
Rabbit. Oh,
the guy in Hawaii.
Daltrey.
Huh? Oh.
Davis. Mister. I forgot Roger Davis was a character I created before Chip.
Wait.
What?
Roger Davis?
Who's Roger Davis?
Roger Davis. I haven't done that in years and years.
I've never heard of Roger
Who'd
Davis.
you do it for?
Just a girl I was dating hated Roger Davis. I told you the Davis family. It was Roger. He had a brother who was burned in a fire. His whole body was burned except for his calves, so he would wear knickers to show off the good part of his body.
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah, Roger Davis. He had an older brother, Stewie.
Stewie Davis.
Yeah, this is probably 1998.
Now, what was hateable about Roger?
Just I don't remember. Roger Davis. He kind of talked. He didn't talk like Chip. He talked a little different.
How do you talk?
It's Roger Davis. I can't even do him anymore. I don't really remember.
Was he like an early incarnation of Chip?
Yeah, but he didn't do bad jokes. He was in a band.
He was kind of like the first episode of The Simpsons where they all look different.
Oh, okay. I
And then
didn't-
they
Tracy
turn-
Ullman
Yeah,
shit?
and then they turn into Chip.
What was the song he would sing? It's a Messy Situation was Roger Davis's big song.
What?
It's a messy situation, yeah. Yeah, it's a messy situation.
Really?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, he was like an early thing of Chip. But I just wish I could remember more of it.
It'll come back to you.
That girl won't talk to me.
She was. It drove her nuts.
Probably.
Yeah.
And Uncle Larry was the guy. There was not Uncle Paul, it was Uncle Larry. Had a little mouth. It was kind of a combination of Edgar and Uncle Paul.
And then all those guys separated into their own characters.
Yeah, they just kind of morph into their own fucking irritating entities.
Right.
But there was no radio back then, so no one could enjoy Roger Davis.
Only you could enjoy it
RD.
in your apartment alone.
Yes, and made her tolerate it.
And she fucking hit the bricks.
Yeah, she was done.
It's Roger Allenby, right? Or Robert Allenby. He's a golfer in Hawaii. Jimmy nailed this one, I think.
What'd I say?
The guy
Robert Allenby what?
He got beat up.
Tired?
How's the story go? He got beat up in a bar and then thrown in a park. And people are saying he's trying to say he was kidnapped. Robert Allenby's kidnapping story. Yeah, supposedly he was in a bar. He gets kidnapped. They beat him up, take some maybe his money or something or his wallet, and then they throw him in a park. And Jimmy said this morning that no, he was in the park and got beat up.
Here's a possible.
And now he's trying to come up with some kind of alibi why he was in a park. Probably.
Here's a possible scenario.
Right, we don't know, so we probably.
No, of
should
course
say
not. It's
this
a
is-
total guess.
Right.
I never even heard of the guy until today. But maybe he was there looking for a type of activity that a lot of men would be embarrassed to have revealed. And maybe he got rolled by a hustler or by guys who are out beating up men who enjoy that in the park. Or maybe he was buying something he shouldn't have been buying in the park. I don't know.
But you feel like he was in the park to begin with.
From the little I know about the
'Cause
story.
why would someone kidnap you, beat you up and stuff, and then take you to a park? When
Yeah, it's such a nice place to take you.
Wouldn't they just be done with you and just throw you on the side of the road?
And who kidnaps you after they take your wallet?
I don't know.
Throws you in a car.
But people are starting to raise their eyebrows.
Is he married?
As far as the story goes.
Have there been allegations of homosexuality?
Lighting up social media was matched only by suspicion as to the golfer's version of events over what occurred after he left a wine bar in Hawaii on Friday night.
Uh-oh.
In this day and age, nothing is allowed to be precisely as it seems. In many ways, this is helpful. In others, it has an unfortunate... it keeps going on and on. But basically, leaves a wine bar, he gets kidnapped, and then they throw him in a park. And people are like, that's just too fucking weird. So...
yeah, there might be something else going on there.
A little something.
Is he a married man? Is he?
I would assume so.
Do we know? Can we look?
No.
I'm looking at the...
Not that it matters, because married guys, as we know.
Allenby, yeah, stop it right there. Allenby said he was dumped 10 kilometers from the Waikiki bar and being thrown from a car boot at the time the woman appeared. Her version is different, not only because she claims to have discovered the golfer literally around the corner from the wine bar. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I mean, look, maybe it was a setup where, hey, come with me or whatever, and there's something going on. They rub him. I mean, there's just something he's probably not saying.
Right.
Maybe he wasn't in the park. Maybe he was with a girl, and her boyfriend robbed him, or
He probably was up to some no good.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe.
I don't think he just was innocently kidnapped.
How beat up is he?
He's pretty beat up. He's got some nice road rash marks on his face.
Oh, so maybe he did get thrown out of something.
So, who knows?
Can I see the picture, Sam? I mean, of you?
There he...
You see the motherfucker.
He doesn't look beat up there. He looks pretty good there. There. That's what he looked like at the end there. Huh?
Oh, yeah, that looks like... Oh, he could have just gotten knocked on the... He's a weird-looking guy.
Well, I mean, you would look weird after
No, I mean the shape of his face.
Okay.
He looks like,
I think it's a little swollen, though.
Looks like a Muppet. He's a weird Muppet nose.
He's got a Muppet nose?
Yeah, in that one.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Who knows?
All right.
Like a skinny John Goodman. He's really giving me the creeps, this guy.
Moving on. So, Voss and Bonnie talked about the robot arm yesterday?
Yeah.
If you weren't listening yesterday, Rich and Bonnie got my 4-year-old this robot arm. And I was very grateful for the gift, I'll be honest with you.
What?
But then also
Didn't
very
sound grateful.
Yeah, you couldn't
Well, I was
sound
also
much
I was grateful that they thought about, me and my family, but the gift was a complete and utter nightmare to put together. This gift is for like a young teenager, maybe like 11, 12, 13. I think the box even says it's 13 and above, where you're bored with Legos and regular models, and now as a 13-year-old kid, you're like, let me try something a little harder.
Somebody who's a teen or a tween.
Not a father that doesn't even have time to shit by himself. I don't have the luxury of 4 to 5 hours to put this together for my kid, who's only going to play with it for 10 minutes and then kick it to the side. Because that's what 4-year-olds do.
But you spent 4 to 5 hours on it and you didn't get it done.
Yeah, I failed miserably. And then there was all sorts of shit going on. I looked at my wife at one point saying, I think I'm having a nervous breakdown, because then I couldn't stop doing it. I felt like I had to complete this damn thing, and I just didn't in the end. So
It's in pieces in front of us.
Yeah, then I brought it in, and it's in front of us in pieces, because that's the best I could do with it. And then Rich and Bonnie discussed the matter on their show last night.
Now, here's the thing I want to talk about. When you buy somebody a present, a Christmas present, most of it is the thought that counts, right? Don't you agree with that? Most of it is the thought that counts?
Well, most people say thank you, and then regardless of if they really use that gift or not, they don't share their trials and tribulations.
Yes. Yeah, like if I bought somebody...
You share if you have a radio show. If I didn't have this radio show, they would have never known about this.
Well,
I brought some material to the show.
You posted on social media first.
Right. And Bonnie was in my apartment, and when she handed over the gift or saw the gift, I was very grateful. I'm like, oh, thank you. I thought you open the box, you put some batteries in, and the kid fools around with a robot arm for a little while.
Right. Well,
I didn't know until she left, and the next day when I opened up the box and realized, holy fuck, this is really complicated.
Well, I think that's their point. You were grateful when you liked the gift, but then when you realized that you didn't like the gift, you stopped being grateful.
Yeah, they're basically saying that you should have just been appreciative and not
the whole time.
An ungrateful.
What fucking person would do that? I reacted like any other person would react. Grateful. Oh, this is nice. Holy fuck, this is a real pain in the ass. Now I'm mad. That's what people do.
Yeah, but they just don't. I mean,
but they don't vocalize it. That's the difference.
It's very, very public the way in which you handled the situation.
Well,
like if I bought somebody, say, a set of bathroom towels, they wouldn't make a YouTube video of them drying themselves off, would they?
No, or let's say it doesn't match their bathroom exactly. They wouldn't here they are in the cupboard, we're never going to use them.
Because they don't match their bathroom. But you know what I mean? So you wouldn't go out and make a video of a gift that didn't exactly fit your lifestyle or your decor or your personality, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, if I get a gift from somebody, I'm just happy I got a gift.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking the other day, like...
They're just lying. Everyone is happy when they get a gift because you're like, holy fuck, someone's thinking about me. That's really nice. And then you look at the gift. You know how many people go back to the mall the day after Christmas? You know how unbelievable the refunds are the day after Christmas? Because then people go, oh, it was nice that this person gave me this gift, but fuck, I hate this thing. I'm going to the mall and getting something I might enjoy better.
But most of them don't take their phone out and video themselves and being like, oh, just at the mall taking this piece of shit back.
and you have a habit of not being good with gifts. You have a history of being abysmal with gifts.
You give me nice gifts.
It's true.
It's
gift cards for the Apple Store.
Yes, I'm a good gift giver. But
Jimmy knows how to give cash.
Yeah.
Cash in an envelope. That's a very nice gift.
There are times when your manners are sometimes lacking.
Despicable.
Jimmy gives me his shirts that don't fit him.
Yeah, it doesn't fit.
I'm one size bigger than Jimmy, so it's perfect.
In some areas.
So it's a little loose on Jimmy. So Jimmy gave me about $1,000 worth of shirts last week. And I even said, I'll pay for these because it's the same store I go to. And Jimmy's like, no, man, just enjoy these shirts. They don't fit me anymore because I'm in great shape now.
Nobody denies that you'll accept gifts that you like.
Everyone does that, but no one vocalizes this shit.
Right.
Well, everyone rushed back to the mall the day after Christmas. They couldn't wait to get rid of their shitty gifts.
But they didn't want to humiliate the people who gave them the gift.
Right. That's the difference.
You don't have to love the gift, but they find that humiliating the people who thought of you is probably...
Like, for instance, when you were building the toy,
right?
You videoed yourself saying this doesn't work, and then on Twitter you wrote "fuck you, Voss."
Like, for instance, they're probably saying that you could have looked at the gift and not even opened it and said, "This is a little bit advanced for my son, and obviously for me."
Right.
So, and then brought it back and found something that you and he could enjoy together, like some Legos.
The toy humiliated my little brain.
Right, so then you...
There's a lot of toys that will do that, though.
Right, but I was humiliated that I couldn't put this dumb thing together.
You're more of a Duplo's guy.
It hit very deep into my psyche, this thing.
Well, why didn't you just bring it back before you opened it? You could look into your robot arm and go, that's going to be hard.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to handle that.
I like a good challenge.
Well, okay, but you can't be mad at Rich.
First 3 hours. Well, let's see how this plays out. Maybe he's misreading.
Plus, you knew for your 4-year-old it was too much, and the gift was for him. So you could have taken it back and got him a ball or something that he would like.
They were really excited, though, because they kept... First of all, they were really generous, but this is boring for the radio. The Vosses were very generous as far as my kids go. And us. I got a nice juice book.
That's nice.
A lot of the gifts they gave us were awesome.
I got nothing.
You got nothing from the Vosses?
That's okay.
So...
I didn't get anything either.
Not even a call or a... Yeah, but I know Rich for 20 years.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, you jerked him off once at the car.
He didn't get you anything?
No.
Well, that's too bad.
That's okay. I wouldn't want it anyway. Shit gift.
But that's boring. I mean, should I talk about all the nice gifts that were perfect and all that? No. I'm going to pick out the one that was shitty.
Are you talking about the robot arm?
But this was the big gift because they kept saying, did you get the robot arm yet? Because it was coming in the mail and there was anticipation. Oh, my God, did you get that yet? And then I get it, and it's like this thing. And,
oh, they had to order it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they mailed it to you?
Yeah, it was mailed, yes.
Why? How much did it think it cost?
$50.
It was between $50 and $60.
I looked it up.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's also quite rude.
Yeah, I've never been inclined to do that.
No. How about you give me a chance to explain?
Well,
I had such guilt about everything that went down. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gonna really feel bad if this was a couple $100. And then when I saw it was only 50, then I didn't feel as bad.
So then is that when you tweeted "fuck you, Voss"?
Yes.
Yeah.
Before that, I googled it and said, oh, it's only $50. All right.
Well, like, remember when people used to send you wine and you made the announcement that you were going to visit wine.com to value each bottle?
Why wouldn't you? I don't know all the wines out there, so you go there and you realize if it's shitty or not. And some of these wine companies will trick you with a really nice label.
Can you just taste it, though, and see if you like it, and the cost should be irrelevant?
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, it's just a very, very, very rude thing to do.
Yeah. Some would say a bit short-sighted and shallow.
It straightened up a lot of people, though. I started getting really nice wine. It was really smart on my part because people started panicking.
Yeah, I mean, those are...
Dr. Steve, strong. Guess I got a bottle of Opus from Don Wicklund for Christmas.
How much does that cost?
That's up there.
I didn't get that from Don Wicklund.
That is up there.
I think a good hearty handshake.
Yeah, but I gave Don...
I got the same thing.
I gave Don something, though.
What'd you give him?
I gave him a couple bottles of wine, and so I know he went, oh, fuck, I didn't get him... You want to know the truth? Oh, fuck, I didn't get him anything. So, conveniently, 2 days later, a really nice bottle of wine came back to me.
So
I didn't get a gift.
So I didn't... Huh?
From who?
Opie.
You did? Yeah, we didn't exchange this year.
We never do. We have a couple.
So did you buy the wine for Don?
I should have gave you something.
No, that's okay. Why would you?
Let's go.
You didn't get a lot of gifts this year, huh?
Not really, no.
That sucks.
It's okay.
How about we treat each other to Yasuda?
That would be nice.
I've tried.
I tried to go there yesterday, but it was...
No, I've tried with you.
We'll do it. Why? We haven't been on the coordinate. Free sushi? I'll go anytime.
Who said free?
I'm just speculating in general.
If you guys are going together.
Yeah.
I said together.
That's true.
That was the key word, together.
Merry Christmas.
We'll go ahead.
I didn't say I'm taking you to Yasuda. I said let's go together.
Separate bills, please. I love doing that on a date. Separate bills, please.
Have you done that before?
No.
Oh, okay.
Even if I don't like the girl, I won't do it. It's just for myself.
Right.
I told you how mad Jen used to get when she would order something on the menu and then Chip would just blurt out, "How much is that?" to the waiter. She'd be so fucking embarrassed. Be like a really good steak restaurant.
Oh, that's got depress the hell out of the waiter.
Oh, it's just, but it looks so bad for the girl. Like she's out with this fucking lump.
Right. People are asking if I give gifts. Yeah, but I play it very safe. Really nice wine or cash or gift certificates.
Yeah, I prefer a good gift card.
I gave the staff, just cold hard cash because I'm like, I'm not going to try to figure out if they're going to like something. So we'll give them some money and they buy what they want.
I give them a gift certificate. Usually, I'll buy like $100 gift certificate to Melba Inc. and they can go online, and it has all sorts of Melba treats.
Really?
Melba toast, Melba candles.
Yeah, I haven't used it yet.
Melba muffins.
Yeah, the tough thing is, like, what do I want?
Yeah, in Melba.
Yeah, because there's so much.
Yeah, you can get anything Melba, all things Melba.
Does what I actually have? A Melba hat.
Yeah, those are really nice, but they're edible. It's an edible hat. Don't wear it for more than 2 weeks or it goes bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Can we get back to the Voss? And
I'd love to.
All right.
I mean, I was thinking the other day, like, this particular friend of mine, she gives good gifts. I'm always very happy with her gifts. And then I started thinking, oh, you know what? Maybe she's not a good gift giver. Maybe I'm a good gift getter. I appreciate pretty much anything anyone gives me.
Yeah,
So, here this whole time I've been giving her so much credit for always getting good gifts. But now I've switched it. Because I realize not everyone is a good gift getter.
Their butt hurt.
I don't know.
You think their butt hurt?
I don't know if butt hurt is fair.
Yeah.
You mean you're considering them butthurt because they're upset that you cursed them out and insulted the gift that they gave your son?
Well, I did say that Rich Voss sucks dick for, what, 5
Yeah, but it's too late to suck up by
cents?
that point. Too late for compliments.
Too late for compliments. They continued last night.
Why don't you stop being coy and just talk about what
No, I'm not. I don't want to.
deal
I don't
is?
want to mention names. Maybe they'll call and we can discuss it. I'm not that petty. I don't have to bring in personal lives. All I know is some people have enough money where they could take a gift and just.
Can I just tell you this that happened? I went over to their house, right? Mm-hmm. And I noticed one of the gifts that I'd got one of their kids was there. And they made a little joke about it because it's a noisy gift. Well, thanks a lot, whatever. But it's a nice gift.
It's a piano.
If you gave them?
It was a gift that I gave him. we gave them.
It's a kid's
Then-
piano.
but really, you don't even probably know what it was. And then the second gift for the other kid, I was like, where is it? They didn't realize. They have a whole stack of fucking packages and gifts that they haven't even opened.
Yeah,
That they haven't even opened. And I was like, well, there's another gift for your other kid. You know, I didn't just buy one gift for them to share. And, you know, I had to go back and look at my order and make sure that it had been delivered, and it had been delivered. I called her. She goes, yeah, we found it in the stack of unopened.
Like when
yes, that's what it's like to be fucking wealthy. Okay, is that you have a stack of shit you don't even open. You get it's.
She's making me look like a fucking asshole.
Do you have a stack of unopened toys in your house?
I do, Sam Roberts. Okay, well, I don't want to spoil my kids. And people are very, very generous. So what ends up happening is, and some of the parents out there can relate, like, there's just too much at one time. So we have a stack of toys they still haven't opened. And then throughout the year, I break them out.
But you get credit for them.
Yeah.
So you'll get gifts from other people.
So it's not that you don't want to spoil your kids, it's that you don't want other people getting credit.
No.
When you can have gift space.
I mean, for the radio, I'll say yeah, but, you know.
Well, no, because if you...
And recently, I took a whole carload of gifts to a charity. It's ridiculous how generous people have been over the years. It's unbelievable.
But that means if it's people being generous, then it is a situation where the gifts are from other people, and then you'll just kind of disperse them throughout the year. So you do get credit.
Because it's either that or they'll play with everything right away and be bored immediately, and then they're done with it. And then they're like nagging me to go to the toy store. I'm like, what the fuck? Look at all the shit you got.
Right.
So.
I was calling about the person you didn't want to name's challenge they put out to you this morning.
What was the challenge?
$2,000 cash.
Yeah.
If Rich could put it together in 3 hours.
I could easily put that. First of all, I have a 140.
Holy shit, you cannot. Sorry. And he has to mention his IQ. I shouldn't have stopped.
Is that where he was going?
First of all, I have a 141 IQ.
I know what you have, brother.
Thank you.
Call it in. 'Cause you know he's not going to call. He's too busy counting his dollar bills.
No. This isn't. Here's the deal. I can't come in tomorrow because I'm too busy this week. Bonnie and I are taping a TV show Thursday night in Atlantic City for Anthony Bourdain. What's the name of the show we're taping?
Oh, shit.
You don't even know the name? He's your buddy.
I know.
Who's texting you?
No Reservations, I think, was the other show.
So we're taping that Thursday. I'm in Delaware Friday.
Well, they didn't
Connecticut.
say about having it done immediately.
Well, I'll
cut. Jimmy both are busting your chops, thinking you cannot do it within 3 hours.
But why put a time limit? I guarantee I could. Okay.
Well, because he said first he did 4 hours, then it went to 5, and by the time it was done, by the end of the show, it was 6 hours.
You know what? Here's the problem with people. They think, like last week we were at the Comedy Show and we're sitting there, and I don't want to name. I'm with a major comic sitting there, real fame, and he goes, "I'll bet you 500 to 100 you can't do a plank for 2 minutes." Going, keep your fucking money. And I did it with no problem, right? I mean, you're breathing a little heavy, but, and he goes, oh, you could have won $500. I go, you know what? Just the fact that I proved I could do it was good enough for me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, then that's what you should do. You should put it together within 3 hours and tell him to keep his money. You don't need it.
That's what, I do need 2,000, but I'm not going to come in tomorrow to do
I might put it together
busy.
in the break just to show him that it can be done.
Like I said, they didn't put any type of deadline. You just need to call him and accept the challenge.
Okay.
That's why I tweeted it to you earlier this morning after he announced it.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for the call, man.
All right, guys.
I like his voice.
Rich is bullshitting there.
What do you mean?
He can't do it in 3 hours.
You don't think so?
The deal is $2,000. He has 3 hours to put this together. I'll get a brand new one in the box, and it has to work properly in the end, too. So when you move all the levers, it's got to do what it's supposed to do, okay? And I guarantee he can't do it, then I'm doubling my offer. $4,000. He has 3 hours to do it.
But is it...
Because he's casually going, I got a 141 IQ, I could easily do it. All right, $4,000.
Well, why don't you think you can do it?
I'll stack up the money right in front of you.
Let me ask you, though, what does the box say is the appropriate time?
I don't know. I did see some people tweeting, like, reviews and stuff where it looked like it took 4 to 5 hours easily.
But if that's the norm...
There's no way he's doing it in 3 hours.
He's asking him to do it in 3 hours. It's almost like saying, if it's an impossibility physically to do it in 3 hours... You should find whatever the minimum, like if the minimum time is 4 hours that it takes people, you should give them the minimum time. Whatever that is.
I think 3 hours is, enough to accept the challenge for $4,000. I just doubled my offer because I know damn well he can't do it.
Why do you think he can't do it?
I so don't want to give up $4,000. Huh?
Why do you think he cannot do it?
Because he's not a smart guy when it comes to this stuff. He's brilliant on a stage. He's quick as all hell, but he's not inclined in this way. He does have tiny hands, though.
He does.
And these pieces are very tiny.
Yeah, but like I've said, they're like little. He's got like 10 toe fingers.
Right.
They're not. They have no dexterity whatsoever.
Right.
None. No bendability.
Rich.
Hey, how's it going?
$4,000. You cannot do this in 3 hours.
All right, relax. Let's not just relax. You've had 2 days to talk about this. Let me talk for a minute or so.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, now, and to Jim and you, first of all, Jim, I've given you great gifts.
Yes, you have.
This is the last one. Some of the best, autographs.
Yes, you have.
That's why I stopped buying Jim gifts. One Christmas I gave him gifts, and he said, "Oh, I got your gift in the car." And he probably did, but he forgot to give it to me.
Oh.
And all I kept thinking about is, God damn, I want that fucking gift.
Oh, sorry.
And I never got the gift, so I cut him loose. And Opie, and I've given you guys great Opie. I mean, when it comes to wedding gifts, you give the best wedding gifts. And this whole thing, this whole robot thing, fine and dandy. I didn't send the fucking gift. Bonnie did. Okay. But I would have sent the gift because it looked like a cool gift. It looked like a great gift, something you do with your child. You put it together. I can't help it, Opie. You're stupid. I mean, you really are. You're a good guy.
How about
you're a good husband? You're fun.
How about this?
What?
I'll get 2 of them. We could do this as a project together, and I will build mine before yours, and you will not do yours in 3 hours, and you will not win my $4,000.
Well, if you think I want to sit next to you for 3 hours putting a toy together, all right, so you could play my fucking daddy figure that was never there. I don't want to do that.
You want the $4,000 so bad. Tell me that.
No, you know what? Let me tell you. At this point in my life, 4,000 is it going to make that big of a difference? It would be nice. Don't get me wrong.
$5,000.
Jesus.
Okay, all right. So there, we're at 5,000.
$5,000. You have 3 hours to put it together. And we don't have to do it on the radio because I don't want people to think this is a hack bit. You could do it. You could come over to my house and I'll fucking film it. You could do it outside the studio. I don't give a fuck. You cannot do this in 3 hours. And if you do, I'll give you $5,000 cash.
Can I do this with the nice re-gifted blanket you guys gave me for Christmas? Can I wrap that around me so I can stay warm? Or should I bring 10 of my other fucking blankets that people gave me? Because I don't want to get too cold. I mean, it's a nice blanket.
How do you know that blanket was a re-gift?
Because who the fuck goes and buys a dumb blanket? Oh, I bet your boss needs a blanket. Nobody needs
No,
maybe when you were talking and you wanted to put it under your neck.
Those are actually very nice blankets. What happened was...
Here's the deal. No, hold on. Here's the deal, Norton. I have a chin that can hold it under my neck.
Wow, you're on fire. Voss is on fire.
I'm not on fucking fire. I'm just being me. Okay, go ahead. What were you saying about the blanket? The lovely... And it's a beautiful tan. I like the color.
Maybe, I mean, we're friends.
Yeah.
Our wives are friends, and our kids are becoming friends. How about we decide no more gifts? It's not working out well for either side.
No, here's the deal.
Yeah.
I do like the blanket.
Oh.
I have other blankets. I do. It's very comfortable.
I think the blanket was more for your wife. I wasn't thinking that you needed a blanket to snuggle up on the couch with.
Yes, the rope was for you.
It's more of a girl thing. They get their book and I don't know, some fucking tea, and they have a good old time on the couch.
I mean, listen, Norton, like you said, Norton gives great. Norton, what did you give Opie's kids for the holidays?
I sent them each a Black Sabbath 13 live DVD.
Yeah. You know why? Okay.
Hey, what Opie's kids give me? Nothing.
There you go.
They haven't given me a gift.
Jimmy and I sort of have an understanding lately. We haven't really exchanged. We have exchanged in the past, and Jimmy's very generous.
I know, I'm saying Jimmy is very generous. Jimmy will send you a gift, though, because you're paying his fucking mortgage. Okay, when the kids start paying his mortgage, maybe they'll get a gift. What I'm saying is we think of everybody. We don't do it for repercussions or selfishness. We go, it's the holiday season. What can we get the Hughes family and their kids? That's how we look at things. I'm just saying. So, next year, when stupid Norton goes out and buys your kids a gift, something dumb, okay? We can't buy Norton's kids gifts because they're all on a fucking peep show fucking floor. All right? Okay? But that's what you do. You buy the family gifts, okay? You don't look at what's my motive behind buying the fucking gift. Okay, you fucking spineless jellyfish. Now let the fucking family people talk. Norton, go get a coffee now. I'm talking to Opie.
Go ahead, talk to Opie.
He hasn't interrupted. That would have been funny if he was interrupting. At this point, he doesn't even care about the discussion at hand.
Yesterday, that Norton was fucking smashing me over this, and
I didn't really smash over it.
I don't think so.
Not bad, no.
You're making me feel very bad. It was
listen to a replay of any of your shows.
It was very generous and all that, but I don't know. It hit deep in my psyche. I started losing my mind.
What's that?
And I lost my patience, and then it didn't help when my son decided to help, and he snipped one of the wires.
Maybe you were upset that you went from being like a Jets fan to a bandwagon jumper over to the Patriots.
Oh, that again. I've been a Jets, Bills, Patriots fan for probably 10 years now, at least.
Yeah. Guess what? I got 8 favorite teams. What are my odds that I'm going to win the Super Bowl? Okay.
Stop with the sports talk. You were doing so well.
Rich.
What's that?
You're making some salient points.
I like 3 teams in the NFL.
Oh, good. All right. What are you, the fucking Mormon fan?
They just happen to be in the same conference. I can't help that.
Oh, good. And if they ever move your show to Indianapolis, the Colts will be.
Oh God, it was going so well.
That's how it works, Rich. That's absolutely what would happen. You start to live how the people are living in that city.
Oh, really?
You start getting into the things they're into. Yes.
Oh, okay. So
Plus, it didn't hurt that every city I was in, that team just happened to be in the Super Bowl. When I was in Buffalo for 3 years, they were in the Super Bowl those 3 years, and then a 4th, obviously. Then when we were in Boston, guess what? The Patriots were in the Super Bowl. And then I'm stuck with the Jets because I was born into that fucking, team, whatever.
Why, Rich?
Because of where I was born.
Look, Norton's been a Dallas fucking fan throughout history.
Right.
Okay? That's one thing you say is wishy-washy and that's fucking bandwagon douche.
What does this have to do with your shitty gift?
That's a good point. It's a fair question by Opie.
You're getting off point.
I'm saying what kind of people you are. That's what I'm saying. You with a gift, you fucking idiot. It's your core. It's your inside. You're empty. You don't know who to turn to. You don't know who to like. You don't know what fucking gift is good. You don't have a soul. Any of you. That's the problem.
I have a soul.
That hurts, Rich Voss.
Right.
I talked about all the other gifts you guys gave that I really did enjoy, and I can't help that one of the gifts was in the pile of unopened gifts.
You give the gift of laughter.
Okay, look, you're talking about all the other. Okay, good. You know those cherry berries?
Yeah.
I got those. They're fucking insane how good they are. They are so fucking. When I got the Oscar gift basket, that was a gift. That was one of them, and we got them like every fucking month for a year.
Can I explain to the people what happened there? He needed to tell the people that he worked on the Oscars. And instead of just going, hey, I just want to remind people again that I worked on the Oscars, he went down this weird road. He went Sherry's Berries. They were talking about Sherry's Berries. I got Sherry's Berries because I worked on the Oscars. Here's my opportunity to tell them again that I worked on the Oscars.
Well, that's kind of like in 3 football teams. That's kind of, you know what? You might be right there. I might have thrown that in sometimes to plug myself. I might have been. You know what? That was selfish and self-centered, and I'm trying not to be that person anymore. Thank you for pointing that out.
So, are you going to take the $5,000 challenge? And I'm not doing this for a radio bill. We could fucking do this anywhere. I'll drive to you. I don't give a fuck.
No, yeah, really.
Because I want to prove my point now.
I mean, yeah, I will do I'll do it. I don't care about the fucking money because you taking $5,000 out of your pocket. There's not enough fucking oil to fucking unsqueak you. I will do it for fucking. That was a bad one.
No, it wasn't. It was a really salient. I keep saying salient.
On Squeak, I opened up my checkbook for you in your time of need. How is that being squeaky?
I said tight. I meant tight. You are, and that's going to happen soon.
I don't.
We are going to.
All right.
Listen, the movie's doing great on that.
Okay, you're falling apart. I think it's better that we listen to you and Bonnie.
I also think you should take the challenge. I think you can do it in under 3 hours, Rich.
Oh, see that?
I think.
Cool.
I think it's a 3 to maybe 4 hour project.
Well, then give me 4. Here's what we'll do.
Nope.
We'll drop it down to 4,750, and we'll do 4 hours.
No, man. 3. I mean, you know, $5,000. 3 hours. 3 hours is a long fucking time.
Fuck yeah.
That's true, and I'm not falling apart. I'm sitting in my car. I had to get up early and get my child ready for school.
All right.
And so this week I'm at Mohegan Sun, if you guys wanted to know.
All right. Okay. All right.
And that's where
okay, it's wonderful. Everything's great.
There was a,
people think we hate each other, by the way. You see those tweets? People think we hate each other.
No. They, you know, a lot of people don't get a lot of things on this fucking planet. You know, a lot of people just don't get humor. They don't get, you know.
And then the wives were panicking, and then I heard you were laughing your ass off because you know what's going on. I know what's going on, but the wives were panicking like we had a real issue. I'm like, no, it's a fucking stupid bit in the end. They know I appreciate them. Huh?
I'm laughing. I retweeting a lot of the stuff that you fucking tweeted.
Right. That's what I told my wife. I'm like, if he was mad, he wouldn't be retweeting all these dumb, stupid Instagram videos and then the YouTube video I made.
No, I told the producers of our show to go find that YouTube thing. You know, I didn't see the YouTube one, but I heard it was fucking great. I heard it was so fucking funny. You know, of course. Listen, when I was a kid, if I couldn't put a model together, I fucking just smashed. I remember smashing a fucking model on the ground, and my mother walks in and goes,
"What was her name?"
And my mother goes, "You're just like your father." I go, "No, I'm still here." But I didn't have.
She meant sexually.
I had to do this thing until my brain. This is how fucked up I am. Until my brain absolutely exploded, and then I finally was relieved that I could now just throw it back in the box and be done with it. But I had to go through the process. It was crazy. And at one point, my kid, the only job he could do, because it really is complicated, was cut out the plastic pieces with the scissors. And one of the pieces went flying, which was incredibly important to this robot arm, and we couldn't find that piece either, and that drove me insane.
See, we should try to get it put together and give it to Bobby, because I know it can't hold a donut. It's not that big, right? I got to go.
Yeah.
You know what?
You're feeling too good. You're not as good when you feel good about yourself.
I know. I was feeling pretty bad when I called and I was on fire. And now I built up confidence and boom.
All right.
I fucked it up.
I want to make sure that everyone knows that Bonnie is one of the greatest comics working today. Just want to make sure that's out there, because I don't want to get yelled at for not mentioning her.
Look at Dr. Steve just texted me. He said, if you gave my kid a present, I'd keep my flap shut, even if it was stupid. Yeah, because you're a doctor. You can't fucking, what are you going to say?
Right.
You know what?
Well, people think the people think that this is what happens if I would do the same thing if I didn't have a radio show. No. What do you think? I'm at home calling out people on their gifts to my kids? I keep my mouth shut. But then if it's something that I could bring to the radio, of course I'm going to do that.
Yeah, so when Bonnie and I got fucking married, you know, you get all this. We went back to Bloomingdale's, and we ended up probably with $1,000 each. And we just went and bought fucking clothes.
Right.
We don't want fucking, you know, But the bottom line is not for your kids, but you're not an easy guy to buy shit for because you have everything.
But I don't want anyone to give me anything. I'm good.
But you can't buy you anything athletic because you're just going to hurt yourself. So what can you get you? So I remember when you guys got married, we bought you candlestick holders.
Look, motherfucker, me and you are doing the decathlon now. We'll see who the real athlete is.
You should. You both have a lot in common with Bruce Jenner.
What? Now we got a whole bunch of things. I'm going to challenge you to a whole bunch of sporting events. We're going to do like network stars type shit.
Battle of the network zilches.
Battle of the network stars. We're going to do that now. That competition, and we're going to fucking build robot arms together.
That's good. And then we'll do golf. We'll do a bunch of stuff. We'll do IQ tests. We'll both do an IQ test, the real one.
Look, you obviously got me on the golf thing. I can't argue that point, but I'll kick your ass in any other fucking sport.
Are you kidding me? Are you fucking nuts? Okay, darts. I'm good at darts. We'll do this.
What about badminton?
We'll do this.
Where you at with badminton?
Are you kidding me?
I'll
of course I'm
fucking kick your ass.
It wasn't badminton?
That's right.
Okay.
And ping pong. I'll do some ping pong with you, too.
I'll fucking kill you.
No, you fucking won't. I got the fancy paddle where
Voss will win that one. You see Forrest Gump play ping pong?
I got the fancy paddle where the one side is soft and the other isn't, so you can really spin the shit out of the ball. I'll kick your ass in ping pong.
Like, I got a paddle that has Bonnie's ass skin on it. I'll fucking kill you. And how about pool? Shooting pool.
I'll fucking kick your ass in pool.
Oh, you think so?
That's right.
I played pool my whole life. I didn't go to school. I went and fucking played.
You don't understand angles. I'll kick your fucking ass.
Yeah, okay, pool. How about we go to the gym and see who can lift more weight?
Ooh. I got you there, too. How much can you bench press? I'm up to bench pressing my weight again.
600?
Can you bench press your weight?
Fuck yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Always
I
weights.
I weigh about 162, and I can on a machine because the reason I do machines is because I don't
do
free weights because I have no one to spot me. But I'll do about 220 on.
You're not hard to spot. Just go to a dumbbell convention.
I'll bet you $1,000 you can't put 220 pounds up. I'm writing all these bets down.
On a machine?
But that one, I'm taking your 1,000 if you don't do it. Not on a machine. Machines are for pussies.
I don't do free weights. Okay.
I don't do free weights.
How much do they cost?
Okay. All right. And then we'll have a contest, me, you, and Norton, and we'll see who can do chin-ups. Okay. Well, all right. Then me and you will do that.
Let me tell you something. That was a good joke, good line and stuff. But I've been in the gym with Jim Norton. Holy fuck, could he do chin-ups?
Yeah.
It's beyond impressive. It's scary how many he can do.
How many can he do?
I tap out at 3. And I use the assistant.
How many?
I don't know. He just goes up and it's crazy.
600.
Yeah, that's about right.
I actually can't do any right now because I have a bad right elbow.
But Jimmy and the chin-up bar, surprisingly, that's not supposed to work out in his favor, but it does. He's very good at it.
Okay.
All right.
Well, listen, anything you want to compete.
And don't even fucking talk about hoops. I'll kick your ass in that, too.
I know a competition you guys should have. You should sit in a car in a garage and put a hose in the exhaust pipe and see who can man up and tough it out the longest.
I'll play you in. I'm not gonna. I can't run or swim. I'm not like one of those guys that run. So you bow out of golf. I'm going to bow out of running and swimming.
All right, but I'll throw fucking footballs through the tire. I'll kick your ass in that,
great.
too.
The two of you should reenact an ED commercial.
I'll throw footballs through a tire. Okay.
I'm thinking of fucking, Battle of the Network Stars type events.
I say this spring that we do it, and we could set it up somewhere.
And
we could have a live audience, and I'll do battle of anything.
I'll steeplechase the shit out of you, too, because you ain't jumping over nothing with those legs. So I got you there, too.
I'm a pro at fucking steeple, okay? I need someone on my back to do it, but I'll fucking kill you in that. Remember, that's a horse show.
I was kind of going with it. It was good. You didn't have to explain that. Sometimes you don't have to explain them.
I mean, this wasn't bad for a phone-in. I usually stink on the phone.
All right, Rich. What am I going to do? $5,000. You got 3 hours to put the robot arm together. It doesn't have to be on the radio because I'm not trying to do a radio bit. I just know you can't fucking do that. And you can't bench 220 pounds free weights.
I can't free weights.
All right, it's a lot different when you do it that way.
Yes, of course it is. But I said what I could do with the machine. I've never tried free weights because I go to the gym by myself, and I'm not going to ask some fucking guy to, you know what I mean? I hate spot, you know what I mean? I'd rather talk, whatever. So I'm not, on the machine, I could probably do 220.
Right.
And, that's pretty fucking good. How much can you curl? Okay, how much can you curl?
I don't curl as much these days because I learned those muscles are just for the fucking beach.
How much can you curl? I mean, if you had to, if someone held,
At least 100.
At least?
Yeah.
There's no fucking way.
Well, let's fucking put up the money, motherfucker.
You do 100, your fucking posture will look like fucking Norton. You'll be all bent over and shit. Norton, how much can you curl?
Why are you taking shots at Norton?
Yes, sir. I'm just sitting here listening.
What's that?
How much can I curl?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I would say 50 pounds in each arm, so that's 100, right?
I don't know if I can do that. Again, because I have a bad right arm, so.
Yeah, I could do 50. How many reps? Oh, he's gone. All right, good.
Rich.
Anyway.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Rich, I'm on your side. I think what Opie did this morning is rude. It was distasteful. I think I liked your analogy of, you would never put a YouTube video up of fucking, towels or something.
Yeah.
He could have just done what you did, is hold on to it and just re-gift it.
Well, we didn't re-gift this, but don't get me wrong. We have re-gifted before. Everybody does. You get stuff. I got a closet full of stuff that we don't use, and I don't mean I give them away for Christmas, but I'll give them to people if I'm not using it. So, like, if that's a slam, the whole re-gift, the whole world is re-gifted. So, is that what you were trying to do?
Yeah, that was it. That's all I got.
It didn't work, did it?
I don't get it. He was trying to slam me.
He was trying to say that I re-gifted it to Opie. So he said Opie should just re-gift it. But I didn't re-gift that.
Well, what, Opie's not going to call in now? I guess the cat's out of the bag. That we gave Opie a gift.
Uh-huh.
Well, we gave his son a gift.
Yes. Trying to get him. And then text Lindsay and tell her to tell her.
Well, get Lindsay to call.
No, get Opie. Opie is the problem here. Okay. Now, I don't know why Norton's throwing his dumb 2 cents into it, because he hasn't gotten somebody a gift in 400 years, all right? A creep. I used to get him gifts all the time. One time he said he had a Christmas gift for me in his car, and he never gave it to me. He forgot. It's probably still in his old car. He probably returned the car. Okay?
Kidding me? Some tranny has it.
Oh,
I shouldn't have said tranny. I'm sorry. I apologize. That's not right.
Yeah.
Transgendered human being.
Yes, to be correct.
Well, Barney's really mad that I didn't call in, Sam. I was enjoying my night. I wasn't even thinking about this.
Well, she probably felt you were throwing bombs at them that you should have at least called in.
Yeah, I think she's probably even more mad that you just were talking about what a piece of shit the gift was.
Yeah. I don't think it was a piece of shit.
You said that.
Out of all the gifts that were unopened, I picked this one to open, so that means something, right?
No, because once you opened it, you hated it. And then you made that public.
I didn't hate it at first.
No, once you opened it.
Probably about an hour to 2 hours in, I started really losing it. But I didn't really hate it from the get-go.
You made a major announcement that it was a bad gift.
For a 4-year-old, yes.
What's up, Frank?
Good evening, guys.
Bonnie's mad.
Love
You
your
can hear
show.
it in her
And
voice.
I did hear the rant this morning that the guys went on about the gift. I'm of two minds about this. One is I think they were kind of unfair, but very funny. But the other part is, if you give a gift, you got to think who you're giving it to, and is that person going to be able to fulfill that obligation or whatever it is that they got to do to put together for that kid?
You're right. Well, here's the deal: is that I bought that gift online, and I didn't realize it was a thing you had to put together. You're right. I didn't research it enough. I thought it was actually like you just had to put batteries in it and
plug it in.
And it was it's a robotic arm. I just thought it looked cool, like a boy would like that gift. It seemed like a cool.
Well, wait,
but I should have looked. I should have read some reviews or something. But
he said we should do research to see if the person. Opie's not an idiot.
You don't give a something to somebody that just because you like it, you should see if they're going to like it. And he's right to a degree that I should have. I didn't realize this gift was actually the. It's like a Lego or something. The idea is you put it together. That's the whole fun of the gift. I didn't know that. I just saw a robotic arm and was like, ooh, cool.
That's cool. A robotic arm?
I know, but the whole point is that you and your dad build something together.
Yes.
And I think it's for a lot older kid.
Okay, but it doesn't matter if it's for an older kid. The dad... It's not like we're talking about a dad that's a moron. This dad knows how to do things. How hard is it to put together some fucking dumb robot arm?
I love that in Rich Voss's world, I'm a genius. I love that.
I don't know where that world is, but I never want to go there. It's a frightening place.
In his mind, I'm a genius. How great is that? Wow, Bonnie's really mad. She's taking it personal, Sam.
Well, you insulted her.
Yeah, you were very, very rude.
Well,
I mean, just because Voss called in and started talking about football doesn't take away from the fact that you were very, very rude.
Rich let stuff roll off his back.
Yeah.
Because Rich is a good guy, but he's a brain like a reptile. like a snake or a lizard. It's a very small brain.
Right.
He just knows what his needs are.
And he wants to just get it back to people talking about him.
Well, if it's just one of those things where he'd be mad at you, and then you could just put a bowl of water in front of him, and he'll just drink it because he's thirsty.
Really? It's as easy as that?
Rich,
we're almost done.
Take my advice. I'm a big fan of you. Don't take that challenge because they're going to give you 3 hours to do that thing. And even with that 141 IQ, you know how many distractions they're going to throw at you that way.
Well, I'm not coming in to do their little contest like some fucking Reese's monkey, okay? I'm not doing it, but I'll do it at home. See, I would take this home and put it together, but I don't know how many parts are missing now because this fucking thing is all over the place.
Yeah, it's a mess.
And I'm taking it, and I'm gonna put it together, and I'm gonna give it to Opie's kid, and then Opie's kid is gonna want me to be his dad because I put the toy together.
Yeah,
right.
I do believe that there are parts that are missing. I don't know if they're still in the studio or not. But hey, buy a new one and just film it on there, because I mean, if you go out there, if you do it at home, you'll be able to do it in 3 hours. But with the distractions, you know that there's going to be something's going to fuck up.
Yeah, well, I you know what I would do? I would take it out of the studio. I would go into one of the offices and put it together.
Thanks, you guys, for really getting the logistics down on this contest that's never going to happen. Bye, Lou. Jesus, you were really taking that seriously.
Boy, I tell you what, they probably had a good fucking 45 minutes worth of radio this morning, and talking about their contest and the bad gift.
You know what, dude? Get him in with his little hands.
Yeah,
and drooling all over it. Ooh, how's he going to do it? He's got a 141 IQ. That's what he tells people. You should do this.
That's right.
Whatever. You know what? I take it personally. Sorry, Chad. Hang on a second. I take it personally because I fucking got the gift for them. And then, all I hear all fucking morning tweets about them trashing the gift and
he made a
YouTube video. Who fucking makes a YouTube video? You know who does it? Somebody who's fucking wealthy. Who doesn't give a shit about getting other gifts.
Yeah, wealthy people make
Wealthy people, they don't care about gifts because they're rich. What are they going to do?
He's trashing. That's like me going on trashing, like say like I trash a comedy club in like fucking
Florida,
the Attic in where is it, in Bloomington? Like say I trash that, the guy's never going to use me. Like say a guy that compared me to a magic act, and I trash, the Comedy Attic wherever it is. Would I expect the guy to use me? No, right? Because I'm trashing this guy who thinks he's so fucking hip and he's a hipster and he only uses hipsters. Why would I trash somebody like that?
That was a shitty analogy, right?
Yeah, I didn't follow it.
Okay, good.
I didn't get it either.
Right. There's more tracks. The Artie Lang one, is that just whatever, or we're done?
I've never been good at analogies.
We're good? Okay.
Yeah.
We're good. Yeah, we got a piss. We got Nick Kroll coming in. Thanks to Rich Voss and Bonnie for the wonderful gesture, the wonderful gift.
Yeah.
Sorry it got completely out of control. I don't want her to actually feel bad about this.
Oh, it's too late.
I enjoyed all the gifts, including the robot arm. It's the thought that counts. I even told people around me I'm going to actually buy another one and put it together properly, because now I feel like I can do it because I know all the mistakes I made. All right?
Yeah, it's an ugly scene.
You think? She sounds really mad.
Yeah, she's not happy.
All right, we'll. And I got some info on NFL balls from our pal Tyson Walter, so we got that as well. So stick around for Nick Kroll. He's fantastic, and we're gonna bring Nick Kroll in. Very excited to see Nick again. He did our show for the first time a few months back, right?
That was a while ago, I think.
Was it a while ago?
Yeah, he's been on a couple times.
Was it September? Hey, Nick.
How
Welcome
many
back.
times have you been on? This is your second or third?
Second.
Second time, yeah.
I think.
You should have been on many, many times.
Thank you.
Sometimes that shit just happens, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think you're hilarious.
Thank you. How you doing?
I'm a little feeling like got a cold.
Okay.
It hurts to laugh in my left lung. I hope that's nothing.
Just the left one? The right one's fine?
So, I don't know.
Do you still have the right one?
I got the right lung, yeah.
Yeah, you can live with one.
I feel congested. I feel fine, but I'm just congested. We were in a dog hotel in Boston, and I think I just never got over it because I'm really allergic to dogs.
Like not a hotel for dogs, but a hotel where dogs are allowed.
Dog friendly.
They're dog friendly.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this before. We did it in Boston.
Yeah. I stayed at I'm allergic to cats, like crazy allergic, and I was at a hotel in Portland that I found out afterwards was a cat-friendly hotel, and I just was like, why am I scratching my face off?
Yeah.
And it was because we were in a cat-friendly hotel.
Shouldn't they have signs everywhere? Because I didn't even know until a little later into our stay that there were a lot, when we started seeing all the dogs, I'm like, all right, what's up with this hotel?
And you are allergic to dogs, bad.
Yeah, cats worse, to be honest with you.
Let's just get rid of cats.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Nick, I don't know about that. I enjoy a good cat. They're very independent creatures.
Yes.
They're assholes.
They are. They're fucking assholes.
They're assholes. You could have a cat for 10 years and they look at you like, who are you?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm the one feeding you every day.
Yeah, they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit.
It's the weirdest. It really, truly is the weirdest pet. Dogs will love you to death.
Till the day you die, they won't know anything. They'll just fucking take care of you. They love you.
But I can't have a pet.
No?
No,
Why?
my cats died when I was, and it just freaked me out.
Jim, I'm so sorry.
Oh, not Nick. I'm over it. I appreciate it. I was. This is like I had one for 17 years, and when it finally died, it was so unbearably awful. I'm like, I just can never fucking have. I can never have anything in my care again, ever.
Yeah, I have no desire to have a pet. I mean, I grew up with dogs. I love them, but I couldn't. I'm like, I literally can barely take care of myself. So why would I now add another animal to the mix?
We had 3 dogs and 1, possibly 2 cats that were hit by cars. You would think we would figure it out.
Yeah.
We lived on a very busy road, and the dogs would get hit. It would be the most horrific thing as a kid growing up. And then my parents, to make it all go away, would have a brand new dog the next day and just make believe that we didn't see this horrific thing go down yesterday.
You could just hear that screech on the road and be like,
absolutely.
Getting a new one tomorrow.
Absolutely. It was a very busy highway. And we didn't even, you would think we would get a fence at least.
Yeah.
We never even had a fence.
The dull thud and then the helpless whimpering. Yeah. The dog's looking to you for assistance and there's nothing you can do.
Oh, man. That's the only way I can come now.
Good night. But
that was really phenomenal.
and we would bury him in the backyard even. We had like a pet cemetery.
Yeah. Round 2.
Do you want children?
I assume I'll have children, but it's not like an you know what I mean? Is that a fair answer? What about you?
I don't know either. I'm not as against it as I used to be.
I think Jimmy would definitely would like to have a kid if it was the right circumstances.
I like the idea of trapping a girl. Like I like the idea of impregnating a girl who really doesn't like me too much and she's stuck.
He kind of creeps me out at times because we'll see a really good looking woman or whatever, and his first thought is I want to get her pregnant.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
How about maybe dinner first? first, or like just get a drink. Well, not a drink, but something a little less. But it turns them on to get a woman pregnant.
There is something sexy about it. There's a whole,
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I get trapping a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always assumed I would have. I have 12 nieces and nephews, so I have like a ton of kids around. I see the joy that they bring my siblings.
How many brothers and sisters?
I have a brother and 2 sisters, so they all have 4. I came from 4, and they've all had 4 kids. And I'm like, the kids, they're amazing. They're really sweet kids. But after like an hour or 2, I'm like, okay, done.
Yeah, that's the beauty of having nieces and nephews. You go home and but a little advice. You're on a rocket ship. Your career.
Yeah.
I waited till my career was on the other side, on the way down, and then I had my kids.
Yes.
And how many kids do you have?
I got 2. I got 2 little ones. So.
Nice.
So about 5 years ago, the career was starting to go shitty. I was like, all right, it's time to have kids.
So you didn't have them during the rocket ship. Do it during the plummet.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Might even do it third because it's plummeting so bad.
Yeah. Just something to make you feel good.
Yeah, a little distraction. You don't have to think about, wow, I used to be somebody.
Yeah. Well,
so don't do it on the way up.
Yeah, start to live through the kids. You know what I mean? Because it does feel, and this, I don't know if this is entirely fair, but it does feel like kids are an extension of yourself. So there's something egotistical about, like, I'm immortal, I've created life. And when you're making stuff, TV, radio, whatever it is that you're making, you can sort of rest on the laurels of like, well, I'm making stuff. You can satiate your ego to an extent of being like, I've created something that is theoretically going to live on.
It scares me sometimes to think of, okay, a kid, because everyone says you drink the Kool-Aid and you put all your focus, and I'm like, I don't kind of want to do that. It might be good for me, but it scares me, like, would I lose my creativity, or would I become like, would I not want to be, I don't know what it would do to me.
It's hard to explain. When you have a kid, some switch that's deep inside you just turns on. It's the best way to explain it.
Where you're like, I'm going to choke this kid.
Yeah, exactly.
I understand anger and violence now. I never got it before.
Very good, Nick.
But yeah, when I wonder, it's like, it's if you're doing spots, like I can't imagine, like, I know just, having a girlfriend or whatever, it's so hard to get out and you're trying to do stand up. Like if you got kids now, it's like, God, or maybe actually the other thing is then you're like, no, I got to get out of the house. Like that's my chance to get out and go do spots. But I don't know if you find that when you're in a relationship, it's harder to get out and go do spots around town, or no?
It depends. I mean, there's times where they get resentful because you always want to go out and do them, and they're like, this is, how many nights a week you're going to do this? And then there's the times where you kind of like, I'll take a night off now to go on dates. Like I don't mind doing that anymore, whereas I used to obsessively not do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, then you have nothing to talk about. It's like you're not living like a regular person.
Yeah, if you don't have your spots, and then you can't talk about your spots to them.
Yeah, exactly. The audience doesn't want to hear about the crowd last night, and they want to hear about your life a little bit, or something they can relate to, and they can't relate to you're annoyed because Chappelle stopped in and did an hour, and then you had to go on late, and they're like, what the fuck's he talking about?
Yeah. But come on, he smokes indoors.
He really is like the last guy who can pull that off.
He really can. It's amazing.
He just lights up. He doesn't give a fuck what the rules are.
Yeah, people are like, yeah, he looks like he's having fun. It looks like he actually looks like he has permission to do it. He's so comfortable doing it. You're like, it must be allowed.
It is amazing. I mean, I remember when before season 1 of Chappelle's Show came out, I had just started doing stand up, and I was hosting like a little kind of book show open mic downtown, the B3, down on Avenue B and 3rd Street. And I had met Neil Brennan, who co-created Chappelle's Show, doing open mics around town. And I was like, Neil, come by if you can. Neil came by with Chappelle, and I'd never met him before. And he was like, is it all right if Dave does some time? And Dave got up and was like smoking on. So even then, I think the smoking ban had just gone in, but he was obviously still smoking. And he came up and did a bunch of time, and there was a band following us, and the band always played I Come From a Land Down Under. They did this cover of it, and Chappelle was sort of joking around, and out of nowhere was like, you guys want to do a cover of I Come From a Land Down Under? I mean, literally out of nowhere, unprompted, and the band just got up and started playing with him, and he's like, anybody want to freestyle? And I was hammered at this point because I had been hosting like 3 hours. I was drink tickets, and I got up and I was like, I'll freestyle. style with Chappelle. Why not? You know, I was like, this is cool. And I got up and I sucked. I mean, I bombed, but then luckily he sucked just as bad as me. So it was pretty.
You sucked together.
Yeah, we sucked together, but it was really cool. And then Chappelle Show came out, and
you wrote for the show, right?
Yeah, we wrote some sketches along the way. The sketch that it was me and my college buddies, Mike Birbiglia and a bunch of other guys.
You went to college with Mike?
Yeah.
Oh.
Mike and I did an open. The first time I ever did stand up was this thing called The Funniest Act on Campus, and Mike won, and I bombed. I did this bit. This is my fake narrative where I say now that I'm successful, but how I used to bomb all the time. Oh, look at me, I'm so humble. But I did this. My bit was I was going to get on stage and say that I was super relaxed, and then piss my pants. That was my whole bit. And I was going to bring a water balloon on stage. I forgot the water balloon. I brought a bag of water and a pen and tried to jam it in my pants, just looked like I was jerking off on stage. It didn't work at all. Birbiglia won, and then cast me in a sketch show my freshman year, and then we were in an improv group together at college for 3 years until he graduated. And then when I was a senior, John Mulaney was a freshman, and I cast Mulaney in the group. And we have obviously all been buddies ever since. But
what college is this?
Georgetown. Okay. Comedy Mecca, Georgetown University. Oh, actually, Gaffigan went to Georgetown too.
Oh my God!
See, that's the problem. That's why I have no connections in the business. Because I went to one semester of community college. I didn't meet anybody funny.
Well, it's crazy because when I talk to people, are like, oh, George, I got nothing. The only thing I got out of Georgetown, college was meeting those guys.
Well, I got stories.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you got to go.
Very similar. I had a fraternity brother, and you'd walk back up to the hill, to the fraternity house. He'd be in the middle of the street, high on acid, burning the Bible, screaming, devilish things. It's just like hanging out with Mike Birbiglia.
Yeah, exactly. It's basically the same thing, right?
Funny and famous, It's a true story, by the way.
That is crazy.
This kid scared the fuck out of me. I'm like, what? Never knew anyone that burned the Bible.
And that guy turned out to be Greg Fitzsimmons.
My story's a little different.
Yeah,
I went to a SUNY school. Maybe I should have.
Which SUNY did you go to?
Geneseo, which is now an amazing SUNY school. When I say that, people go, "Oh." But I went so long ago when it was just a drinking party school.
Yeah.
But now supposedly it's really hard to get into. There's no way I would have gotten into it nowadays.
Yeah, and there's no way.
Georgetown, forget it.
Well,
What was your major?
I majored in history and minored in art and Spanish.
What did you want to do when you went there?
You minored in Spanish?
I minored in Spanish. I spoke a little Spanish and was like, I need a grade. And I use the Spanish. I do characters that are I do a Latin radio host, El Chupacabra, and other stuff. But I don't know. I had no idea. I just grew up, very privileged and figured something would happen. But I remember I did the Funniest Act on Campus, which didn't go well. And then Birbiglia invited me to audition for a sketch show. We had the first read through of this sketch show that we were going to do. And I walked out being like, oh, this feels right. For the first time in my life, I felt like this, because I grew up watching SNL and stand up and obviously Delirious and Carlin and Carnegie and Robin Williams, all those specials, but you don't actually think, I don't know if you thought when you were a kid, I'm going to go be a stand up.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. 12. Yeah, I saw Pryor, and I knew that's what you did with that weird feeling. You make people laugh in school, and where do you go with that? And then when I saw Pryor, I remember I was watching with my parents in the living room, like, oh, that's what you do with that. Made the connection.
And that was your moment where you went, I'm going to do that.
I just understood the connection because I was watching the audience when he was talking,
pretty cool.
And they were moving back and forth. It was a really weird.
At 12?
Yeah, whatever, 1980.
Wow. Yeah, see, I didn't know. I knew that people did it, but I didn't know you could do it in a weird way. It was like this other thing. And then I did that sketch show my freshman year and just fell in love. And it was and then, I did the improv group in college and saw UCB live and started to go to shows when I was in New York and doing workshops and then moved to New York and started doing open mics and doing more stuff with UCB and was it just felt like the first thing that even the busy work was printing flyers at Kinko's to put up around campus for whatever, anything that was related to it just didn't feel like work. That became the the way I just was like, so, and it was to finish off. So we did, the guys I went to Georgetown with, we started doing improv in New York, and then Brennan Neal asked us to submit some stuff, and the big sketch that I think we helped write the genesis of was the white family whose last name is spelled Niggar.
That was your bit.
Yeah, that was we had the genesis of it. Then they turned that into what turned into like, that was the idea, the genesis, and then they turned in like the Leave It to Beaver kind of 50s sitcom show, which was so fun. I mean, so funny.
That was one of the biggest bits of the whole show.
Yeah, that was like our first thing that we got made.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You were brought up privileged, you said, or you were just joking?
Yeah, no.
And pretty normal family?
Yeah.
Because most of you guys are fucking nuts, and that's why...
The rich dick kids?
No, I meant comedians in general.
Yeah.
That there's some weird shit that went on when they were growing up, and that's what makes them so damn funny and edgy.
No, I mean, I don't wish. I mean, I'm very happy and very lucky to have grown up the way I did.
What did your parents do?
My parents, my mom was stay-at-home mom, and then got very involved in sort of charity stuff, which is code for saying that I grew up rich. And my dad created a company that did private investigations, and then all types of crazy stuff. And I'm sure you've got some fans out there are going to say that he's part of the shadow government and the Illuminati, which he's not, but,
okay.
Run with whatever you guys got to run
part
with.
of a secret society. Yeah.
No,
so you had a lot of money growing up? Because I have a follow-up question.
Yes.
So why did you work so hard?
I think,
how did you have such discipline?
Well, I think it's because I grew up watching my parents work hard, but my dad wasn't like, because I think there are those dads who grow up with money and like, you're gonna like work as hard as, I think it was just truly, I think I watched him build a business that he loved and he worked very hard at. And then when I found comedy, it was the thing that, again, didn't feel like work. So it was like, whatever I got to do, I know that this is the most fun thing, that if it doesn't feel like work and I get to do it all the time, then I'm going to work as hard as I can. And the model from him was, just he didn't understand what I was doing until he started to look at it as like, oh, you're an entrepreneur. And once he started to see it as that, and I always had his support, but it was the idea that like, oh, okay, you're building your business, your products are your jokes, your products are the sketches that you're doing, and the people you're working with are the people that you're collaborating with, like your business model, whatever it is. So, and it's just, I think I got lucky that I found something that I love to do, and so it was just like, I'm gonna do it all day.
Good for you. For real.
Yeah.
I grew up, I was a caddy, and I had a caddy for rich kids the same age as me, and they were complete assholes to me.
I bet.
But they were doing nothing with their lives. And I'm like, do you understand what you have handed to you? You can do anything, and you have chosen to do nothing?
Yeah. Well, I think it's like, you
don't have to work or nothing. You're going to go to the top colleges just because it
just happens that way.
Just happens that way.
Yeah, it's an assembly line. I mean, look, I'm very, very lucky to grew up the way I did, but also I think there's a weird sadness to those kind of kids that is like, if you are handed everything, you don't know what it means to do an honest day's work, or that what you have is unique or privileged.
Right.
You just get used to it, and there's like a real kind of underlying sadness that I wouldn't trade, I'm sure, and those kids, if they knew what the other side of it was to grow up poor, I don't think they would be like, you know what, I want that, but there's like an emptiness to it,
Well, what's your motivation?
Yeah.
You could do anything. You don't have to have just a 9-to-5, job because you got to pay the bills.
Yeah.
Well, they have meltdowns too. There was some kid down
just shot his
father over a few $100s a week allowance. He was a grown, like 30.
Right.
Like a little spoiled fucking, but I guess no ability to go out and do things on his own that were real.
Yeah.
So I guess there is a
dissonance. I was mad that Daddy wasn't taking care of him even more.
Yeah. There's probably more to it than that, though.
There has to be
some.
Yeah,
of that
I just read some stories. I read a little bit about that guy. I guess there's a house he might burn down a few weeks ago.
In the Hamptons,
the Hamptons house, and he's, clearly got some instability.
Yeah, people love stories like that, though.
Yeah.
People love when somebody who has a lot of money like that melts down and does something that people who don't have money do. It just makes people feel good.
Well, my dear friend Phil Spector.
I love your characters, and I wanted to ask you, do you remember your first character you did, even if you were like 12, 13?
Well, like growing up, I used to do like Wayne's World. I watched Wayne's World like every day after school. Like I just couldn't get enough of that. So we used to do like, me and my friend used to do like Wayne's World sketches at school. We'd host talent shows as Wayne and Garth. I used to do that a lot. Dice. I remember the first time I really remember performing is doing, like, I was in like a van with my family on vacation. They had like a microphone, like a tour guide has a microphone, and I was just doing Dice. I was doing like the nursery rhymes for my siblings, and they would sort of laugh, and I was like, this is I like this, one of the first characters to do is I still am doing with Mulaney is the Oh Hello guys, the Upper West Side guys who prank people with too much tuna. It's one of the stupidest things that we've done, but he and I started doing that when we moved to New York and would host live shows with them and are still going strong. I mean, it's the most fun.
Right. Why are you ending the show? It's the third and final season of the Kroll Show.
Yeah, I think
it seems like it's still going very strong.
Yeah, it's going well. I think it was, when we started it out, it was kind of like, well, let's see what we can do and how far we can push it. And unlike other sketch shows that are it's a one-off sketch and you do a new sketch next week, because of all of our characters come back and recur and they have like a larger story arc, the stories that we told by season 3, it felt like we had sort of reached the natural evolution of a lot of those characters. We pushed them to their limits as far as like what they could do in the stories we were telling with them. And I believe that this is the funniest season of the show, and so it felt like, why not go out when we're still doing our best work, and as opposed to sort of petering out. Sort of like that felt like.
Or you have a lot of offers to do movies in Hollywood.
I wish that I had got literally. I mean, we'll see. I'm not going to lie and say that I got nothing on the docket, but it's like, it's not like I'm putting the show to bed and then like, next week it's announcing like I have a 3-picture deal with Paramount. You know what I mean? It's like, I just sometimes, I just was like, I'm ready to kind of see what the next thing will be.
That's integrity too, as a performer. When you go like, you know what, man, it's great, but I think it's like, like the original Office, they ended purposely, or Derek, he ends purposely.
Right.
For me, they would have to drag me out kicking and screaming.
But don't you think 12 episodes is it should be just a little more than that, though?
Maybe, but it feels complete.
Yeah, they did the Christmas special, but that was the British Office was a model, and the British TV in general, the BBC model. You do like we'll have done 30 episodes,
which is not a crazy amount of episodes at all.
Not a crazy amount, but also nothing. It's not insubstantial, and it's not an insane amount, but it's a pretty clean number when you see where the show started, what we started with, and where it ends. It feels like, oh, okay, there's a natural arc to a bunch of the characters. We didn't set out this season to be done. It wasn't like we were like, all right, we're going into the season. This is the last season. It just sort of organically happened where we were like, you know what? I think when we look at what we did this year, it's like, well, a lot of these stories have tied up pretty nicely, but also it wasn't like this is the final season, this is going to be the finale. We know exactly what we're going to do. It just kind of happened where we finished the season. I talked to the showrunner and EP of the show, John Levinstein, and I was like, do you have any more things that you want to feel like we haven't done yet? And he was like, not really. And I felt the same way, and I was kind of sick of fucking putting wigs on and slopping.
Take a break from that, huh?
It's like my skin, I got real sensitive skin. And so, I was like, I'm happy to take a little break from slopping makeup on, dressing like a lady. And, felt like it was a natural time to end it.
The wigs might be made of cat hair.
I know, Jesus. By the way, I wouldn't be surprised the amount of scratching I do.
Do you like improv? Do you like doing it?
I like it. I haven't done it. I don't do it very much live on stage anymore. I ended up doing more stand up coming when I actually started to perform more. But on the show, we're improvising constantly, so that skill set will, I think, never leave me. And it's still there on stage doing stand up.
Right.
I'm assuming you obviously, I've seen you. You do. It's not, you don't stick to just your material, right?
No, but I mean, real improv, like when you watch UCB or those guys, that's really hard to do. It's like, it's a real acquired, like even as a good stand-up, it's like to just walk into that setting and just do it is not easy, because that's a real, to keep the story going and to not make it all about you, but to make it fun. That's fucking a real art.
It is exactly. It's an art form and it's a muscle. It's like a muscle. And so like when I do actual improv on stage, I'm not nearly as comfortable as I am improvising as a stand-up at this point, or improvising in character on my show or when I'm on another show, even though I'm improvising. What I get stuck on is when you're improvising is like, okay, neither of us know who the other character is or where we are. If I could do an improv show, they're like, you're playing this guy, he's playing that guy, and you're in this space, I feel would be much more comfortable. I get very stuck being like, who's this guy? And I want to step on who I think my partner's playing in the scene, whatever, but I have when I see really good improv, because it's not my art form at this point exactly. When I watch guys, like I work with a bunch of guys who improvise every week, like Jason Mantzoukas or Seth Morris or Joe Wengert, guys who are real UCB guys, not out of the stand-up space. I'm blown away by what they can do. Just like if you watch someone someone like Todd Barry do an hour of crowd work, you're like, Jesus Christ, like he just was able to do that, like without even doing a single joke.
I gotta say it again. I saw him open up for Louis at MSG. I'm like, what a brilliant choice and a brave choice.
Yeah,
he killed it with that soft delivery of his. And he did do a little crowd work at MSG.
It's amazing. How I haven't seen that. How was the?
It was great.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
And he's going to do a fourth night now.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he's got 3 sold out. He's doing a 4th. A lot of guest stars on the final season, too, huh?
Yeah, we got a
lot of guys we know, and obviously hilarious people.
Seth Rogen, Aziz, Amy Schumer, Burr, Jenny Slate, Chelsea Peretti, and according to our site, Joggin Mulaney.
Joggin Mulaney.
J-O-G-N. So not John Mulaney, Joggin Mulaney.
That's his European cousin, I guess, huh?
Yeah. Burr does a run on our show that is when he plays a cop. Surprise.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he plays a detective, who's after. I have this character, Dr. Armand, who's California's premier animal plastic surgeon, who in season 2, he's one of our characters that's a reality show that keeps spinning off into different reality shows throughout. But in season 2 of the show, he's found a new wife, but then his wife is murdered in the first episode, and his whole arc last season was like an OJ trial, sort of like OJ, The Staircase. I don't know if you guys have ever watched The Staircase.
Was that 12? Is that 8 or 12 episodes?
Something yeah. So it's sort of we grabbed from all that kind of stuff, and Burr plays the Detective Smart, who's after Armand throughout, and they've got this sort of love-hate relationship of respect of the criminal and the policeman. And then this season, Armand thinks he's found the killer of his wife, the actual killer. So he's off to Europe, and Burr is sort of on his tail the whole time.
Nice. Like Catch Me If You Can, almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's exactly what it is. But Burr is so funny because it's I think on I can't remember what episode it's on, but Burr plays this detective, and I was like, Jesus, you were a cop you were on my show and Breaking Bad, and he's like, yeah, with the same amount of lines on both.
There's Burr.
So fucking funny.
Hey, did SNL ever come a calling for you?
I auditioned for SNL right before I started doing the league, and I had one audition, and the same year that Mulaney auditioned, and we went in. We had been pitching a movie with Tracy Morgan for Tracy to play the deposed dictator of those Nigerian email scams.
Yeah.
Well, this was the one time that it was real. So we had the idea for Tracy to play the deposed dictator of Lairobia, and who comes and shows up on a college kid's campus to be like, "Where's my money?" So anyway, we're pitching a movie with him, and then we get a call. We're both going to go audition audition for SNL. We go to New York. We're running auditions together, and we go out. I go for my audition. And the way it works is you're backstage. The stage manager comes back and says, you're going to go outside. You're going to go out to the stage. You're going to say hi to Lauren, the writers. Then you're going to look to camera. You start your screen test. So I go out there. I see Lauren. I go, hello. And then I look to camera, about to start. And Lauren goes, they're outside. And I'm like, they're outside? Are they out there talking about how awesome I am? And he's like, what? And I was like, are they outside talking about how great I am? He's like, no. And I'm like, oh, okay. And the stage manager comes and he goes, I'm so sorry. The writers, everyone took a little bathroom break. You got to go backstage. So I'm back, backstage. They iced me, not on purpose. It was a mix up, but I'm now backstage. I'm freaking out because I just, tried to be casual with Lauren and Bomb. He wasn't
having it.
Yeah. I'm just one of 30 guys, to no fault of his own. He's just like, what? Anyway, so I'm now backstage and there's some, union grip guy backstage. He looks at me. He's like, you going to do John Lovitz? And I'm like, I'm going to do Lyle Lovitz, the love child of John Lovitz and Lyle Lovett. And he goes, save it for the stage.
Oh, my God. No.
Like, you wanted me to do a fucking bit with you, and I'm doing a bit, and I've got ice.
You started the bit.
I know.
How humiliating for everyone involved.
So I go out, and then I go out, and it goes fine. I end up doing fine. And
are you hearing laughter when you do? Are you just doing it right into camera? And how many people are in the room? Would you say?
It's dark, but I would say there's probably 15 people in the room, spread out. 15, maybe. Yeah, I honestly don't know, but it felt like about 10, 15. It could have been 100 people in there, and there was about 10 people laughing.
Were you doing a how long was the bit you had to do?
It was it's about 5 to 7 minutes of characters.
Different characters.
Yeah, you're doing different characters. Or that's what I was doing. But it was at a time on the show. This is about 6, 7 years ago, and at that point they had Sudeikis, they had Hader, they had Forte, they had Seth Meyers, they had Andy Samberg. I mean, as soon as Samberg got on the show, I was like, how many big-lipped Jews with glasses are they going to put on the fucking show? I kind of knew it was the timing wasn't right. They had just a bunch of 30-year-old white guys in Armisen. I mean, they just had every version of me that they were going to have. And so, look, it was a lifelong dream, but I also was like, it's just not in the stars. And it's happened, it all worked out. I auditioned the same year as Jordan Peele from Key and Peele. And then, cut to 2 or 3 years later, we both have our own shows, sketch shows on Comedy Central, with a lot more freedom to do whatever we were going to do. And
as the stars of the show,
and not having to fight through it. And the SNL folks are I've now know and have worked with a bunch of them, and I'm good buddies with a bunch of them, and so it all works however it's supposed to work out.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
I love that inside stuff.
Oh, God.
Trying to make Lauren laugh, and he's just whatever. I'm seeing 30 of you guys today.
It didn't work.
Just trying to be comfortable and go, hey, I can roll with the punches, and then they just shut you down immediately. No, we're not discussing that.
Yeah. Well, it's and it's when you're on the other side of it. I'm sure you guys have had people in here. When you're on the other side of it, you're like, look, man, we're just trying to get through the day here. You know what I mean? You're like, but this is my moment. And you're like, yeah, great. I got a long day ahead of me, guys.
Yeah, but how do you handle that? What's the proper way to handle that? I think you did the right thing. You just try to joke about it.
Yeah,
right.
And he wasn't a dick about it. He just wasn't like, I got a long day here, fella.
Yeah, he wasn't going to pretend to feed into the humor. He's just like, I'm right already with this.
Yeah.
I hear he likes to just strip it all down anyway.
Yeah, it's
and listen and just really focus on what you're doing for him.
It's like going to the cellar and you're trying to get past the cellar. It's not like they're gonna be cracking up at your set. You know what I mean? If you're trying to get past, they're like, yeah, that was good.
Yeah, look at the crowd reaction.
Yeah, come back. That's the extent of what you're going to get. You know what I mean? You're not going to get oh, man, all right, I got to talk to you about your bits.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They're so good. Yeah, we want you for the early shows.
Right.
Yeah. It's not that. He just gives you the avails number or the email, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's next for you after this season of the Nick Kroll Show? Well, actually, the Kroll Show.
Yeah.
I should say.
Thank God. Thank you so much. I've got a movie coming out that I made last winter around this time in New York called Adult Beginners. It's me, Rose Byrne, and Bobby Cannavale. And it's a movie that I came up with the idea for and starring in, and which is the only way that I'm going to be in a movie with Rose Byrne and Bobby Cannavale. And Rose and I play brother and sister, and Bobby plays my brother-in-law. And I end up becoming, my life falls apart, and I end up becoming their kid's nanny. And
it's a comedy.
It's a dramedy.
Okay.
It's sort of like it's there's definitely funny elements. Birbiglia is in it briefly. Joel McHale's in it. Josh Charles, Bobby Moynihan, a bunch of funny friends.
How fucking awesome is Bobby Cannavale?
His acting ridiculous.
It was, for me, I've mainly worked with comedy folks who can act a little bit, but to work with a guy like him who's got real chops.
Yeah.
And Rose too is a funny but really good actor, but working with Bobby and working a scene, and he's like, I like the words in this, he's like, cause usually I'm like, if it doesn't work, let's just change the lines. We'll find it and make it work. With a guy like that who's especially so theater trained and so much it was really fun and a new challenge for me to do that stuff. I can't wait. The HBO show is going to be, he's doing the show with the Scorsese directed. It's it's like the music scene in the early 70s in New York. And it's like him and Dice was in the pilot.
Oh, right, yeah.
And some other folks, but it's going to be I feel like it's going to be what Boardwalk Empire was for early 20th century New York, New Jersey. It's going to be that early 70s music scene in New York.
He was great in Boardwalk Empire, getting choked with a belt while he was fucking. What a psychopath he played.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh yeah, it's really hot.
I'm behind a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey.
No, he doesn't die from that.
Yeah.
No, he's just fucking. He likes to be choked with a belt.
All right, fair enough.
Which we can all relate to.
Target demo.
Nick Kroll, this was a pleasure. They're telling me you got to go. I see them panicking in the other room. I guess you got a lot of press to do today.
You got to run around a little bit.
The Kroll Show, the third and final season. It kind of sucks. I get what you're saying, but it kind of sucks.
Thanks.
I think you could have squeezed a fourth for us, but
it's at Nick Kroll on Twitter, NICKKROLL, and of course just NickKroll.com.
Yes.
And the show's on 10:30 on Tuesdays.
Right.
Has it premiered already?
Yeah.
Oh, it
yeah.
did? Okay.
The second episode aired last night.
Okay.
And it's all, I'm going to weirdly promote it, but if you haven't seen the show, you can go on the Comedy Central app and watch previous episodes, and Hulu and Amazon, iTunes, whatever. Catch up on it if you haven't seen it yet.
Great. Nick Kroll, always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Thanks, guys.
All right, come see you soon.
Will do.
I want to thank Nick Kroll for stopping by. He's a big star.
Yeah, he's a nice guy, man. I like him a lot.
Kind of got yelled at by Roland for not knowing how wealthy his father is. I knew he was well off.
Is his dad really rich?
Oh, my God.
Ridiculously rich.
How's ridiculously rich?
$1.5 billion net worth for his father.
Oh, my God.
I just looked it up.
Jesus.
His father's a billionaire. I knew Nick Kroll came from a well-to-do family. I knew he had money and stuff. That's why I find it interesting that he's so motivated and is making his own way in life. Yeah. But I didn't realize to what level. His father sold one of his companies for $1.9 billion back in the day, and his personal net worth is $1.5 billion.
His father.
Yes.
Wow. But the only advantage I can see that to being, because you don't have these struggles that a lot of people would have, but is that if you're raised properly and with money, you have a lot of confidence. So if you're a funny guy, that confidence maybe help you as a performer because you're confident in what you think and what you know what I mean? Like the Kennedys are very confident people because they're kind of taught, hey, you're good, you're worth something.
Right.
So, but Nick is a funny guy, so.
He's very down to earth.
I would never have known he came from that kind of money.
No, he's very easy to talk to, and he's.
I'm going to hit him up for some cash.
No kidding.
How about 100,000, pal?
100,000. I wanted to call him out on having a microphone in his car when he was growing up. We didn't even have seats. He had a microphone that he could perform with.
Wait, wasn't he talking about a bus tour?
No, he said. I thought he said that the family car had a mic like you would see in one of those bus tours.
Oh, did he?
I thought.
Oh, I didn't catch that. Did you, Travis?
No.
I'm sorry, what? I was not paying attention. I'm trying to figure something out.
Well, listen, Eric. Did he have a?
I'm not trying to figure out one of my mess ups.
Did you?
I'm trying to fix other things.
Did Nick Kroll say? Did you hear the Nick Kroll thing?
Yeah, it was great.
Did he say with the microphone in the car?
Mm-hmm.
Was he saying? Where was he saying that was when he did the dice impression for his siblings? Was that in his car, his family car?
I felt like it was his family's personal car.
I think so.
Maybe. Well, I thought
I
it
can
was
go
a
back
tour.
and check if you want.
It was probably on a jet.
Would you like me to do that, Jim?
Yeah, we're just curious because we're like, did he have one in his family car, or did he do that like on one of those like guided tours?
I just assumed it was on a tour because even rich people
tour.
They don't have
tour.
First of all, I got somebody on Twitter that told me during is the way the word is
During,
pronounced.
Yes, they were jerk off on Twitter. That's their @ name, jerk off.
And you say tour, and that's fine. But I assumed it because even rich people, I don't think, have microphones in their cars, right? Or do they? I don't.
That's why I'm bringing it up. It sounded a little different.
It's definitely different.
And I didn't think I heard it where it was some kind of tour bus situation. That's all. That's all I'm saying. It's no big deal. During.
That's how the word is pronounced.
It might be, but not in America.
In America?
No, like you picked that up when you were somewhere else and you brought it to our country.
We speak the Queen's English here.
Maybe the proper way is to say jeering. But as a society, we all decided it's not said that way.
You and your whole society.
Society. I suck at words, so what am I saying?
No, you don't.
Oh, thank you, Jimmy.
Jim's looking at him with this look as if to say, hey, get yourself out of the gutter.
Yeah, what are you doing? Pick yourself up by your bootstraps.
I am. Look, I'm standing like you. Jimmy started the standing thing today. Now I'm standing.
Yeah, I just...
feels good to stand every once in a while.
Got the energy in here like next level.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
I do yoga. A lot of times I do yoga. Like, people won't notice that, but like as I'm talking, I have my hands over. We haven't lost the humor yet, have we? No way.
That's good.
The audience never knows.
Wonderful. Just bear with me, Jimmy.
Okay.
I'm about to say a name that's going to bother you.
That's why I'm laughing, because I know what you're struggling with right now.
I am struggling. You know how we started the show with Fortunate Son, not Fortunate Son, Born on the Bayou by CCR?
Yep.
Then we were talking about CCR, and then we were talking about how great Fortunate Son is as well, so we played that. And then we got into a quick discussion about CCR and how every time I hear a CCR song, I turn it up on the radio, even some of the deeper tracks. I'm like, wow, man, they really had a great catalog of music. And then I said, you know, I've never bought a CCR album or downloaded any CCR, and I don't know why I never did that. Well, I now have a Greatest Hits CCR CD.
Oh, nice.
That's great, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Needy down the hall made this for me. That's why I'm bringing it up. That's why I'm bringing it up. Jimmy's doing deep knee bends now.
I just thought that you might want to hear them. We don't need to bring him in. We have to languish in such redundancy.
It's very nice, though.
I'm sure it is. It's not nice. It's homemade with a little folded paper over it.
He made the cover art and everything.
Ah, that's terrific.
Look, it's a little booklet.
Reeks of desperation.
A little blue booklet.
Yes.
With all the tracks on the back. Look. CCR, Creedence Clearwater Revival, Greatest Hits, and then even at the bottom, printed with iTunes.
All right.
All put together nice for me.
Put a lot of effort into it.
Yep. He couldn't, make his own Greatest Hits, though? Wouldn't that have been kind of cool? Like, hey, man, the Greatest Hits, we're missing a couple tracks, so I decided to add these other CCR songs you might like. Yeah. Oh, Susie Q. I put a spell on you. Oh, my God. Green River. Oh. Bad Moon Rising, of course. Run Through the Jungle. That's a song we should play today. Maybe we'll finish with Run. You take this up with Sam. I did not do this. I did not do this. Sam, you got, why are you laughing so hard? I did not ask for him.
Hi, Denny.
You're the one bothering Jimmy
You want a Sherry's berry?
Because a chair had been placed in front of the door.
For the strawberries.
Huh? What?
I didn't come in for the strawberries.
I was laughing because a chair had been placed in front of the door.
Yeah, you said you didn't. I mean, once I gave Jimmy the Beach Boys, and you said you didn't have any stuff, so I just made it for you.
It's cool.
That's all. It's a friend type thing.
Would you like a strawberry?
I might have one. Don't throw the drink out.
Which strawberry would you pick there?
Which strawberry?
It says a lot about a man. Which one are you going to pick from Sherry's Berries?
I like the one with the chocolate and the cookie under it.
It does not.
Oh, that's paper. Look like a cookie. Look like a wafer, like those Nilla wafers. Looks like a chocolate one.
He picked the dark chocolate.
I just think it's cool that Dennis doesn't mind bootlegging CDs for the guys.
That's right.
Not bootlegging. I'm not selling it. I'm just
You
giving
could
it.
get in trouble for doing that on company time.
No, I'm not.
I guess you're not busy once again today.
No, I was scheduling music, and you were talking about CCR.
Right.
Cool. He just takes music out of the system,
No,
burns it on the
it's on my
CDs,
hard drive of
and gives
hits. It's on my hard drive.
I would love to smash this in front of you, but I'm going to enjoy listening to this.
You enjoy it. You
I
just
really
said-
am. I'm gonna. It's a very nice
booklet he
gift.
made. It's a wonderful gift.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's the single version of Heard It Through the Grapevine, because that's like 18 minutes. It's a
Yeah.
long
Why didn't you
version.
just put that version on?
Well, because it's the hard drive of hits, so I wanted to give you the hit version.
Smart. Thank you, man. It was cool. It was a good appearance.
Thank you. just doing something for a friend, that's
He
all.
said something that I think Denny did a great appearance. It was brief.
Help yourself to a strawberry.
Well, you guys offered me some.
Yeah. I hope you have a reaction like fucking, like, oh my God.
God.
Oh,
Come on, you could do this.
You want the reaction to be like
fucking Jeff. Oh my God, I'm just panicking. No, hold on a second. It's a movie called Fearless. Oh my God.
Dennis got you nervous?
No, I'm just so anxious to see him have an allergic reaction and drop dead. I can't remember.
Jeff Bridges?
Yes, in Fearless. Thank you.
Okay.
You guys were talking before about chocolate, and you said white chocolate.
Yeah.
I had to have that when I was a kid because they said I was allergic to chocolate.
Yeah, why wouldn't you be?
And I had to have white chocolate.
Your weak body's even allergic to chocolate?
Yeah.
Who's allergic to chocolate?
I don't know. I mean, but you know what?
I think that's impossible.
It turned out to be the fur of the dog.
The fur of the dog.
As opposed to the album by Nazareth.
Too bad it wasn't the fur of the car that hit you.
As opposed to the album by Nazareth, the hair
Will you
of
let
the dog.
some of these jokes go? Let them breathe
He
a
was
little
just
bit?
making fun of me about getting hit by
Jimmy's
a car.
almost enjoying.
I was.
That's not fun.
You have an uncanny ability to see when humor is coming and get smart the door shut right in front of it.
Dun, dun, dun.
See?
That's fun.
Let it breathe.
All right,
Jimmy,
breathe.
he's almost enjoying you right now.
I just don't like dead air on the radio. That's all.
It's not dead
Then
air.
when
it's
you
people
wouldn't talk.
laughing.
He's quick. Jimmy's quick.
I let it breathe.
All right, good. Let it breathe. You learned a little something today.
Yeah, there you go.
Finally.
Just enjoy. If you pop that into the CD player in your car.
Can I ask you
Enjoy it.
a real question today?
Okay.
With all the people that get fired at SiriusXM, how the fuck are you still here?
I lay low.
For real?
What do you mean? Why should I get fired?
I don't know. They've fired some extremely talented people around here.
Well, I do think I'm like a 5-tool player. I'm on the air. I help
You're a
out.
complete tool player.
It's true. So you hang low, because this could be a good advice for someone out there.
Yeah, just do your
Just
job.
hang low.
Just do your job. Make sure the people upstairs don't know your name, so you get in trouble.
Never bitch about not making a lot of money, right?
No, why should I complain about it? I mean, that's not, I'm lucky to have a job.
What?
I said I'm lucky and I'm thankful to have a job in this great industry.
You mean because your mouth is so dry and they still let you on the air?
No, not dry at all. Had a couple of seltzers this morning, some black coffee.
You got a tiny head.
Yeah. And a little mouth.
You shouldn't accent your head with hats and stuff.
No, not at all.
It's really tiny.
You look like Smalls in The Sandlot with a very long hat brim.
Yeah.
Yeah, your brim is very long, and that's a normal hat, right?
Yeah, it's a Sirius XM hat.
I am Denny. I want to see a documentary about you.
In the back. You really have to pull that band all the way around to make it fit on your head.
Yeah,
huh?
I do.
Yeah.
I'm a 6 and 7/8 if you ever get fitted hats. I like those.
All right, one
Number
more
7.
question.
Yes,
and,
sir.
And then we'll, before Jimmy explodes. Yesterday was a big day for you, right?
Why was that?
You didn't celebrate DJ Day?
Oh, I saw that. That was stupid DJ Day.
All right, good.
You come up with these dopey things.
All right, good. You're learning. All right, you scared me. I
No,
thought you'd be all about DJ Day.
What was I going to do? Post my picture of me wearing headphones in a radio studio? That's self-serving.
You didn't post your picture with Barry Williams.
No, because E-Rock still has them on the camera.
He didn't give them to you?
No, not yet.
Well,
You
E-Rock's
went on
he's taking another day of leisure.
Yeah,
we
he's,
discussed that earlier in the show. If you want to listen to the replay,
I did. No, I heard.
E-Rock's taking a couple days for himself.
It's okay. He's got the vacation time. Let him take some time.
He's got a long weekend. Give it a little old extender Rooney.
He's taking more days than we did for MLK.
It's taking more days than we did between fucking Christmas and New Year. Right. Just relaxing.
Yeah. When you spread out your days, we just had a long break. We've only been back, I think, 5-6 shows.
This is a guy who likes to have a bountiful amount.
He's not smart. You wait a little while, and then February's a shitty month. No, it's the middle of winter, then you take a couple days, all nice.
We do get the 16th, part of the love weekend, because you got Valentine's Day on the 14th, right? So we get Monday, President's Day. And we have that one. So you got a 3-day weekend. Yeah, you got Valentine's Day on the 14th, right? And President's Day on the 16th.
You have nothing going on.
What do we got? I just told you when you're
You
when
can
we're
talk
off
about
again.
anything, and you're doing a calendar bit.
You were talking about days off.
Well,
When
but we
Iraq
made
had taken
something
over.
because days of leisure.
Days of
Iraq.
leisure.
Yeah,
You can't blame Denny for this.
Yeah, but he's now just reading days off the calendar.
That's like blaming the clouds because you forgot the umbrella. We let him in.
You're saying there is no other direction that he would go in.
No, Denny's doing what Denny does. This is not Denny's fault.
All right, Denny, we love you. You know that.
Thank you.
But we were talking we were doing a whole thing where it would
I
be
said,
like,
all right, Denny, we love you. What were we going to say, though?
we just said we were talking about Iraq and the whole thing, and it's like for you to then take a left turn and bring it back to the calendar. It's like
literally reading the calendar.
Like we were having fun.
No. Ope said that Iraq could have, spaced it out. Because we don't have another day. We have February 16th. We don't have another day till Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, but then you could make jokes about like Iraq being at home or vacation or leisure or consumption.
You could take a shot at him.
He's probably playing with all his toys, right? Maybe he could have put together that toy that Voss gave you.
All right, I'm with Jimmy.
Okay. Yeah, sorry.
It's time. Take another strawberry and get the hell out.
No, I don't want to overdo. I don't want to overdo my stay.
You already did.
You
already overstayed.
Yes.
The minute that door opened.
How about this?
Yeah.
I'm going to try. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm going to try.
Okay.
What do you think of Justin Bieber being roasted? That's a big story today that we really haven't talked about yet.
I think it's like, I'm really surprised. I mean, they could have done it months ago. It's like he's kind of off the grid right now, don't you think so? I mean,
no, he's still a huge star.
You think so?
Yeah, he's
Really?
massive.
Yeah.
He's a massive.
I mean, he's no CCR, but yeah, he's pretty big.
When was his last hit?
A year ago, I guess.
No.
He's a huge pop culture.
Yeah.
He's an asshole, but he's a huge pop culture star.
That's the thing.
He had a whole crowd outside MSG as he was skateboarding horribly. That went viral.
He's in the news all the time.
It's going to do massive numbers, and I think every comic wants to do. You're going to want to go for this, Jimmy?
There's no possible way they would put me on.
Why?
Because Comedy Central, they don't dislike me, but that's just, they never want to use me on their roasts.
You've done
Never.
a couple,
I've
though.
done one Comedy Central roast, and that was at Bob Saget's request. That was it. They have zero desire to put me on
But you would
roasts.
absolutely love to do that, right?
Yeah, I would roast Bieber, but it will never happen. The only comic I know will be on, besides Jeff Ross, who's greater than, would be, I'm guessing Amy will be on it if she wants, and Dane, because I know he likes Dane, and they're kind of friends, so that would be a Bieber choice, I'm sure.
Do you have any, would Chip have anything to say at the Bieber roast?
I would go up there and just tease him about our common experiences.
Like what?
Hey, look at you, babes. We ought to have a contest who can get more fucking CUDA. What do you think, babe? Fucking high five him. It's gonna be crazy.
That's a roast joke.
I'm gonna get him a hat like I got. We're gonna wear matching hats up there like fucking two maniacs. I'll be looking frickin' frack up there or something. Two peas in a fucking pod.
Who would say frickin' frack?
Everyone would. Hey, look at you up there. Gonna roast you. What are you, a fucking marshmallow or something?
Would you let him know you're just teasing?
I'm just chipping you, dude. You know that. I love you, babe. Hey, Selena Gomez, huh? What is she doing? Bet you she's fucking somebody darker than you.
Wow.
That's not cool.
You'd laugh at that, though.
You think you'd laugh at that?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know him.
Fuck yeah, I do. We're boys. You ever see me on Twitter?
Yeah, I do see you on Twitter.
Talk to him.
Yeah, you
tweet
at him.
Bieber?
Yeah, all the time he tweets Bieber.
Chip likes to tweet myself, Justin Bieber, and Taylor Swift.
Well, you gotta tweet Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to call it "Leave It to Bieber." Right?
This is not a bit, people. Because I get asked that question. That Dennis Falcone is so bad, it has to be a bit.
The real roast, or the Dean Martin roast, and anything after that is, come on.
They're all good roasts.
Yeah.
There's funny guys now.
But it's always beep. They didn't have to do that on the Dean Martin roast. They didn't have to work dirty.
Well, they couldn't.
They just didn't.
They worked.
They weren't allowed.
They weren't allowed to.
They didn't have to rely on that.
They wanted to have. Oh my God, I hate this discussion.
No, I'm telling you.
You're trying to tell me the old school. Now I'm all in.
You think Don DeLuise wanted to act like that?
Absolutely, all those guys wanted to tell a blue joke.
I don't know.
So you think that?
Of course they did.
Foster Brooks doing the fake drunk guy, and people co-signing that instead of going, ugh.
I thought it was funny. He's terrific. I watch him on YouTube all the time.
It's one of those.
Great.
It's one of those things where the comedy has just changed to a certain degree, and it has gotten dirtier, but it has in a lot of ways gotten more honest as well. It's a different time. So that stuff back then was appropriate for the time. What happens now, because there's nothing any of them said that was funnier than whoever the guy used it before. The whatever comedian made fun of Flavor Flav and said, "You look the way Magic Johnson should look," which is an AIDS joke. It's not dirty, but it's an AIDS joke.
Brilliant.
I mean, there's no one said funnier shit back then than that.
You don't think that's funny?
Those guys had to work around the networks. My point is very simple. When you had Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., and the rest of them hanging out, the Rat Pack, I guarantee their jokes were beyond blue. I bet you they were throwing the N-word around even and making Sammy Davis Jr. laugh about it.
I don't think Charlie Callis would have worked blue.
Charlie Callis. That
funny.
bit stunk. It stunk.
You like the foot?
I just love that. Yeah, I used to love what he was.
I don't know
Carson.
anyone that liked the.
Can we see a little bit of that, please?
That was great. That was funny stuff.
Shut up.
You can't possibly like that out of everything you can like.
Why not?
The Voop?
Why can't I like that?
You're more than a, you know. Of course you can like it. Here he is from 1978.
How are you? How are you? Don't express yourself.
What was that?
Really welcome. My name is Charlie Callis. That's my real name, and I was named after the famous opera singer Maria Charlie. Let me tell you a story that I love to tell because I have fun doing it. Good heavens. Cary Grant. Don't I look like him, huh? Yeah, you think so? A little bit. Anyhow, this story concerns two men who are both friends. And they love sports, guns and hunting. Now, one fellow for his birthday gets a shotgun. He calls his friend up on the telephone. He wants to tell him all about it. This is what went on during and after the phone conversation.
This is a long bit. We know already.
Like that?
He's doing the dialing with his finger.
The old school phone.
What comes after the area code?
See?
Wait, hello, is this... Is this... Is this... Ralph? Hey! Ralph?
Dennis, come with me. Take your glasses.
Yes.
You want another strawberry?
No, I'm good. Thank you. Full.
So,
see you, Jim.
Take care. Thank you. Charlie Callis is still on the phone.
Hi. They bought me a... Hi.
been going
They bought me a... It's a Winchester cut. You put a bullet on... Right.
It's like this. Like he's not an untalented guy, Charlie Callis, at all. Like he is a funny dude, but that just is not my. It's like,
he was very successful.
Absolutely.
For the day, but
and it's original. I'll say that it is unique. It's just not my.
I don't really get it though. Why the Voots again? I haven't thought of that in years.
It's just quirky and nuts,
right?
But it's like that gets very old for me.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking. I was walking home yesterday, and I was just thinking of Otto, and how hard he made me laugh, talking about Michael Jackson molesting children. So you can't be more brutal than that,
right?
But the lines, he said something like, he should have fucked that kid. He rode the Ferris wheel all day for free, and a deal's a deal. And then he said some of those kids were so young, after they sucked his cock, he had to burp them. Dude, I laughed for 20 minutes at that yesterday. There's nothing anybody's ever said on a fucking roast in the 60s that is funnier than that. Mm-hmm. That is more brutal, or more like purely hilarious. There was no fat on either one of those fucking jokes. They're just vicious and to the point. But
But his point is that they didn't have to work dirty.
They couldn't.
They couldn't. Thank you. I believe all comics would love to work dirty as well as clean. They had it in them to do that. You should be able to probably make it pretty, clever and edgy as well.
You also couldn't talk about the church. You also couldn't talk about sex. There were so many restrictions, so people say, well, they couldn't rely on that stuff. Yeah, but they had to rely on other stuff, like cutesy references, and the audience laughed because that was all they got.
Imagine those same guys who proved they're really funny under those circumstances having no restrictions, what they would have done.
Some of them would work very well today, some wouldn't. Woody Allen would always survive because he's so brilliant.
Right. All right, why don't we I think we did it. Lady spends $164,000 a year to live on a cruise ship for the past 7 years. Is there a problem with that? That's brilliant on her part.
Yeah, it's just strange.
Why is it strange?
To live on a cruise ship for a year? Eventually you want to get some shit done.
For 7 years.
7 years.
7 years?
So how much, 164 a year?
$164,000. She's very old. She's spending her money. Why would you just sit in a house and rot when you could be on a cruise ship?
There are probably other things you could do.
Like what? 7 years.
Karate.
She's seen the world. I saw a show on the Travel Channel, I believe, a while back, where it was actually a cruise ship dedicated to these type of people. You bought a condo on it, and it was really nice, and you lived on the cruise ship. So all of a sudden you wake up, you're in Italy or whatever, and just tooling around the world on a cruise ship and with your own stuff.
I'd also
not just a regular room.
I get sick of my boat mates.
Well, and then some of these people, they would tap out, jump off the boat for a while, go back to their regular homes or whatever, and then they would join up with their, the cruise ship again. That's a great way to live when you're older.
Seems like a lot of cruises is the only thing.
Huh?
Seems like a lot of cruises.
Right.
Too much. Go home and accomplish something. You could accomplish something.
They're old. What else are they supposed to do? Their kids are grown up and hate them. Well, they don't have careers anymore.
I would probably hate my parents too if
people
they were like, we're going to move into a boat for 7 years.
People are sick of hearing the same old shitty stories. They get that. So they're like, you know what? I'm going to move on with my life and go live on a cruise ship. You'd be mad at your parents if they decided to live on a cruise ship for the next 7 years?
That's selfish. I would feel like they've given up on life, and we're just waiting to die, and in the meantime, they're going to do it on a boat.
Do you understand how the shit you could see on a cruise ship?
Yeah.
Water.
The Achille Laurel got me hooked.
Your mom right now is at the sink at your house, looking out the window crying because she doesn't see you guys in the backyard playing anymore.
That's right.
She's lonely.
My sister's got a baby. She's doing fine.
So why don't we take her out of that environment and throw her on a cruise ship?
Because she would accomplish.
She could see the world.
She would spend 7 years accompling nothing.
Enjoying herself.
Spent 29.
She'll enjoy herself.
I've got a good couple years then mixed in.
How old are you?
31.
Oh, all right.
You think her kids...
No, from up to 0 to 2, you were a hit.
The first two, I was knocking them out of the park.
You were on fire.
But what happened after 2?
It just slowed down.
Yeah.
Why did it turn to 2, though, Jimmy?
What's that?
Why did it turn into?
I don't know, because there was something really cute about it, and then his hair started to grow in, and they realized, oh, it's a creepy fucking curly head kid do.
You think he got that first just coarse hair popping out?
Yeah, and they're like, oh, Christ, he has hair like fucking Montgomery from Fame. We hate him.
I'm gonna get your dad on the phone tomorrow. I'm gonna push him toward this cruise ship idea. I think it's perfect for those guys.
I don't think I've ever asked my dad, but I would assume that he thinks cruise ships are stupid.
If you could be, they cost money.
Yeah, probably.
If you could be set up nice in a real room and you could bring a bunch of your stuff.
I don't think he'd be interested. No, that's what he's going to say.
All right. One more phone call and then we're out of here. Kevin in New Hampshire. I believe you're a regular, Kevin. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good, sir. How are you?
Good.
You were probably, I'm sorry, past subject, but you were talking about not being able to be funny because you weren't allowed to back then. You should see there's a documentary on Smothers Brothers where they had to do all kinds of crap to get past the censors on TV in order to do things. And they were making all these drug references because the censors were too old to know who it was. Some of it was kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
So it's the Smothers Brothers documentary?
Yeah, there's a Smothers. Yeah, it was all the crap they went through for all the censorship they did, all the legal troubles.
Oh, wow.
They sued, and they sued back and won. And I know it's too late in the day to go through all that now and start something new. But it was just an interesting thing to listen to. You couldn't be funny back then. Well, hell, you couldn't be funny in the '60s or '70s on the air.
I'll check it out. What is it called?
I wish I knew it, man. I'm sure.
I'll look it up.
Google it and find it. But yeah, it was a very interesting one. In fact, what's the younger Smothers brother? You see a side of him you don't really see. You see him pissed off.
Oh my God! Everyone knew he was pissed off. The one Smothers brother came across like he was a real asshole.
Yeah.
Oh, so you saw it?
No, just in general. You've seen him in interviews and stuff.
Oh, well, yeah, but I just think he got,
All right, I'm going to check it out. Thank you, Kevin.
Sometimes when we touch.
Take care.
All
Bye,
right.
Kev.
Manny would not have it. You forced him to sing the other line.
No, Manny Pacquiao.
He did not.
He
didn't go with it.
Want to engage and sing along.
No, you were
antics
excited.
with me.
You were really hoping you were going to have a little sing along with him.
That's all I wanted was the legendary Manny Pacquiao and myself to belt out a tune.
Can it go?
Not well, Sam.
Jonathan followed it up, though.
Not as expected. Yes. Sometimes when we touch.
That was in my head all morning.
What?
For no reason.
Sometimes when we touch. Sometimes they do much.
No reason. Much like everything that you say.
Thank you.
It just pops in my head.
As it should.
Oh, okay.
Not a compliment.
That was a compliment.
No.
I wasn't sure it was a compliment at first, but it's definitely a compliment.
I like getting compliments.
It's not stuck in his head for no reason.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on with the Pacquiao fight? He was on our show.
Boxing.
But he was on our show saying it's happening. And now Mayweather's like, they're all just silly over there. What's the real story?
Here's the bottom line. I think, personally, I will be very shocked if it happens.
Really?
Because I think that Floyd Mayweather, I think, can beat him, but I do think that he does not want to take a chance. That's what I think. I think he'd rather be undefeated and not take that money.
Or he's
holding out for a little more. It's just sign the. That's why, again, I can't stand boxing anymore, and I just like UFC because they never give you the fucking fights you want. The fight now everybody wants to see is Jose Aldo against Conor McGregor, and you know what? That's the fight they'll give you. I don't know when they'll do it, but they'll do it.
Dana just knows.
He just knows.
Right.
You know, it's like, I know there's so much more money at stake in boxing, and it's a much bigger sport, but the reality is they jerk you off all the time with the fucking fights you want. And the promoters get involved.
Yeah.
It's a fucking nightmare.
And well, they got to deal with all that corruption. There's so much corruption in boxing that Dana doesn't have to deal with, you know?
Yeah, it's just it's a nightmare.
That would be amazing. I can't imagine. You know how many people would watch that Mayweather-Manny Pacquiao fight?
That's the fight.
Of course. And we thought we got the exclusive. He's like, I'm signed. We're just waiting for him to sign the damn thing. And then that video yesterday, he truly can't read.
Money Mayweather?
Yeah.
He can't.
He can't read.
No. Nope. Have you ever heard the clip of him reading liners for a radio station?
We have one?
No, not for us. For Power 105 in New York.
No. Can I hear it real fast or part? You know, I know we're trying to get out of here, but
sometimes
when we touch. Oh, speaking of Jonathan, I got to make sure he knows it wasn't my ass smelling in the cab. And I looked at him because I thought it was his ass smelling.
There's both of you.
We had a 63-year-old female cab driver in Boston, and her cab smelled horrendous. Yeah. I want to get him on the phone to describe the smell. It was unbelievable because we both looked at each other like, what the fuck? And I don't know if she was farting or she had swamp ass or what the hell was going on, or she shit her pants. It was brutal. Is this it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Get into what you really want to get into.
Now, if you haven't heard 50 Cent
words in that Harry Potter book, so we're going to let you read.
All right, I'm going to read this drop. Hold on. Let me get my 10 seconds. Okay, 10 seconds.
Mayweather, and I've joined Heart Radio for the show. Your stripes. Okay. I'm Floyd Mayweather, and I've joined Heart Radio for the show. Your stripes movement to support hiring vets. I'm Floyd Mayweather, and I've joined Heart Radio for the show.
He's reading.
Your stripes movement to support.
He's reading.
Hi. Okay. I'm Floyd Mayweather, and I'm Floyd Mayweather, and I've joined Heart Radio for the show. Your stripes movement to support hiring vets. Go to the show. Your stripes yourstripes.org. Go to the show, yourstripes.org.
Reading.
This is good as any 5-year-old.
Go to showyourstripes.org. Go to showyourstripes.org. A website that connects veterans with employees.
He's reading. It's fine.
He's just not.
What do you mean it's fine?
You go tell him he can't read.
Yeah, he's not. He doesn't need to read.
You're right.
He wins fucking boxing matches.
That's why he beats the shit out of people. If you beat the shit out of people like he does, you don't have to read, Sam.
But your question was, can he read? He can't read.
I heard reading.
I can read.
I heard reading. Jimmy heard reading.
Yeah, he said, I'm a washing machine.
Jimmy, any plugs before we get out of here?
I do. I'll be in Tempe, Arizona, the 30th and 31st at the Tempe Improv, just kicking butt. And I'm doing Foxwoods Casino February 13th. Of course, Oz Fiesta, May 27th through 31st in Mexico, in Riviera Maya. And on sale now is Detroit, September 26th, the Andiamo Celebrity Theater. And St. Petersburg, Florida, I'm doing the Mahaffey Theater. It's myself, Artie Lang, and Bobby Kelly, and Mike Calta is hosting it, and afterwards his band is playing.
Beautiful.
And tickets are on sale. It's Friday, but the pre-sale is today, I think at 9 a.m., and the code word is CALTA, C-A-L-T-A, themahaffey.com. That show absolutely will sell out.
Absolutely. You know, I know we're trying to get out of here, but I forgot the Tyson Walter text, Jimmy. It's kind of important.
Okay.
Because everyone's talking about the Patriots deflating those balls, and it turned out they did deflate 11 out of the 12 balls. So Tyson Walter, who's a good friend of ours, who played in the NFL for a bunch of teams, great guy, love him. He sent me a text that explained this whole thing. He says there are 6 kicking balls provided by the league. In addition, I wish he would have just called with this. Tyson, next time just call. Provided by the league in addition to the 12 each team brings and an emergency 12 provided by the home team. The kicking balls come right out of the box at the game and are called K-balls. For, I guess, kicking. All right. Each QB and center will condition their own offensive balls on Friday before the game. We scuff them to remove wax and compress them to loosen them up and provide the kind of grip the starting QBs want. So they really work the balls for a couple days. That's got to suck. It sounds like Tyson had to sit on balls and shit. Once the balls are given to refs on game day, nobody cares about the balls unless it is raining and they're getting wet. Then you try and dry and scuff them more between plays, since you don't get access to them unless they are in play. There you go. So what's the big fucking deal?
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll see what the NFL has to say. But it turns out they did have deflated balls. All right, guys.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah.